known as El Mayo, is the alleged co-founder and leader of the Sinaloa cartel. He was arrested in El Paso yesterday along with 36-year-old Joaquin Guzman Lopez. He's the son of El Chapo, the cartel's infamous co-founder and former boss who was put behind bars 5 years ago to serve a life sentence.
Fox's Chanley Painter. There's frustration in France hours before the Olympics opening ceremony. The country's high-speed rail network has been vandalized in what are called criminal actions, including arson, snarling travel on several train lines to Paris and other parts of France. Now, that opening ceremony is tonight in Paris. The first medals go out tomorrow, but Olympic action's been underway for days. The U.S. women's soccer team shut out Zambia 3-0. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Thank God it's Friday. We have made it through another week. I'm not telling you to rush your life away. I'm just telling you the weekend you get 2 days off and you get to do what you like. That's the reason I like the weekend so well. I love spending time with my friends here at the office, but there's something about just doing what you want to do that's quite nice.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, find somebody to argue that point with me. Please.
Yeah.
I don't think they exist.
I love you guys. And come Saturday, I want to remember our week in the past while I drink in the lake.
Right. Tug, you sound like a guy whose son's going back to college, so it's getting back into, horny season. So, that's just what it sounds like to me. I'm just reading between the lines.
This is such a terrible word.
It's like he's been home the whole summer. Yeah. This has been difficult, and now you're back to going, hey, it's sexy time, coming back.
The sweatpants are coming off.
That's right.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
He was in Charleston already. He went down, he left yesterday morning, and is at the new house and all that. So he switched to school and hung out with his little girlfriend in an empty house. I'm sure they just watched TV.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, played Yahtzee.
Right there on their phone.
Pictionary.
Just watch some TV and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe some rummy or something. I don't know. We could probably, But anyway, yeah, so he's
Made the
there.
bed.
Yeah, so absolutely. Yeah, definitely did that. And so he took a bunch of stuff over, and he'll come back on Sunday, and then he's home for 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks. I can't remember exactly, but and then it's a done deal. It's over with. He's back at college.
So do you guys change now? Do you walk around more naked?
We don't really do that.
It's like failure to launch, where you're like Terry Bradshaw. You're like I got my naked house now.
Yeah. No, we don't. No, we're pretty clothed most of the time, but yeah, I mean,
how boring.
I know. I told you our house is like Andy Griffith. Did you ever see Andy Griffith or Aunt Bee naked? No, of course.
Well, that was on TV. We weren't allowed to see inside the depth of their life when they weren't on TV.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. But just would you imagine that Andy and I don't know Opie?
Would I imagine? Yes, I'm a dirty man.
Okay,
yes,
that's probably okay. Never mind then. Yeah, we don't have a naked house.
Man,
we're just regular. We're just regular folks. But
maybe just boxers.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know what? I'm not going to wear my pajama bottom. I'm going to go crazy. Wear these boxers out to the kitchen.
That might happen. All right. Late night or something, but not like at 2:00 on a Saturday.
Okay.
I mean, But yeah, so we're headed to the lake tonight. We rented the little boat. It was the pontoon for the lake in the neighborhood. So and we invited a bunch of friends, and nobody can make it. So it's just going to be Laura and I and our dog and a bottle of wine. So which is actually, I think, going to turn out even better.
Absolutely. And can you what are you going to bring any kind of special treats, like some cheese, some wine,
maybe.
crackers.
If you got recommendations,
nice for her.
If you got, that's actually a good idea.
I didn't make a little charcuterie board for her.
See, that's the thing. Rhino thinks about this stuff.
Yeah.
I never would have crossed my mind.
Well, you're better looking. I had to work a lot harder to get girls in the bed.
Not true at all.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit true. But just having the background that you do in cooking and restaurants and stuff, you think of these things, and I just don't.
Listen, if you come up with a cheese board, that's when your wife is going to know you've gone full blown gay.
Oh, well,
she's going to be like, there is no more sexy time.
Oh, her sweatpants will fall right off, right into the
Oh, no, they'll be locked on. She'll put a championship belt on it. They'll never come off again.
Are you sure about this? Because I tend to think Rhino may be right.
No. You know who does that for another girl?
Who?
Her girlfriend.
Okay.
Like one of her buddies. Dudes don't. It's okay. I read something I thought it was kind of interesting. When I read that it was this one woman, and she was saying, if your boyfriend is voting for Kamala, it's really your girlfriend.
Yes, well that's
but
true.
that's way
That's
different.
true. That's completely different.
No, not really. It's you know who you need to always watch out for? Always watch out for the dude who's all like feminist, like I'm into feminism. I'm into this.
It's not into feminism, bringing her treats that she likes.
I'm just saying,
giving stuff that you like.
Bring her something useful like a tire. Okay, don't bring her.
That's fair.
So she can board a cheese.
Rolling up to the little boat ramp, where they launch the
tire,
the pontoon, and it just got a radio.
Like she's gonna look over at you, and she wipes a tear off your face, and she's like, "It's finally happened."
Yeah.
Next thing you're gonna know is you're gonna be like, going all trans and trying to look just like your wife.
Wow.
Just by
that step from the.
If you bring her a cheese board, yes.
I'll be honest. I've done this a few times. I know that Erin loves to have like crackers and cheese and wine and stuff like that.
Too.
I'm like, you know what? Here's that. And now listen, I put it on a cutting board. I mean, it's a wood cutting board, so it looks that's fine. And I haven't. I don't think I've transitioned yet, but now I'm getting nervous. I should have just brought a tire.
You don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Oh my
Bring
Lord.
her something useful, like a belt.
Yeah.
Or an iron.
And when you do it, you know what you do? You go, I brought you something nice. It's a belt or tire.
So what do you do? Like, seriously, what do you do for your wife to be thoughtful?
I've got a birthday tomorrow.
Her birthday's tomorrow?
Yeah, I got a birthday tomorrow.
Okay.
And so we actually
you
line
got a
that
birthday.
up.
Your birthday.
No.
It is her birthday. Okay,
yeah.
make sure I got it
And
right.
so, no, our plan is, because we're trying to find something that was family friendly. The fun part was we were trying to figure out, just as Rhino and I were joking around about trying to see, Deadpool or Whirlpool and Wolverine. We realized that we're not going to be able to do that. We can't do that with the kids. It's too much. But we decided, okay, let's go to our Cine Bistro. We'll go watch a movie and we'll go get a dinner after that. And so that's, it's a little bit of everything,
gay.
I
need to get a tire iron.
We're gonna see Twisters, something that's a little bit more family friendly. If Big Weather's family friendly,
yeah.
It beats.
Yeah,
it was either that or like Despicable Me 4. I'm like, we're trying to do like the happy medium.
Yeah, right, I get it. All right.
I think Whirlpool and Wolverine. Wait,
Deadpool.
Pass. Well, Whirlpool and Wolverine. Is that what you call it?
I think so.
What's funny is we bought a washer dryer yesterday because we had to, unfortunately. But when I was walking around, I just kept laughing. I'd be like, Whirlpool. And I was like trying to fight the Whirlpool.
trying to think of what it looks like.
Yeah, and everyone's like, just
what are you
stop.
doing?
Just
what are you doing?
Stop already.
What the heck is going on?
But boy, we found one of these. Listen, I don't know if I've ever bragged about an appliance before.
Well, look, I'm here
but
for
I'm
that.
excited. This is a washer dryer combo. So you put everything in.
It's one device.
Yeah.
I've heard about this.
And it only takes up the space of one. Hour and a half in, you put it in, it does its thing, blah, 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 sends it to your phone, boom, done, let's go, come get your drive clothes. I hope it works as well as I want it to.
How much does that thing cost, though?
Too much.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, it would be the same. It was relatively similar to if I were to buy them separately anyway.
Okay. But if you were to get your wife one of those or a mop, that basically is letting her know who's got the level of dominance going here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You have maintained your man card.
That's right.
It's like, baby, listen, I got you a Dyson Animal. She'll be like, well, you're like, it costs like $450.
That's true.
Now get after it.
What are you waiting on?
Exactly. It's like,
do you not see the floor's dirty?
A lot of times I put like baskets together, and I think this is a good idea. If you get a big bucket and then put a mop, a broom, dustpan dustpan on the side of the bucket, a bunch of sprays inside for her to do windows. Yeah, I think he's giving you a great idea. Go with that one instead of the charcuterie board, Tug, tonight. Some boat cleaner.
Yeah. Listen, this one shows your soft side if you decide to do a board of cheese, and I get it. And again, because of Rhino and his level of professionalism, what he's done in the past, that's different. If you were to do it, it says a lot about you, and you need to not say that to your wife.
Okay.
Now, what if he does it like in a more Dalton way? Like it's just
on a garbage can
cheese
lid.
And on a garbage can lid with spray cheese and Ritz crackers.
I will tell you, and I haven't been able to do this for the better
raisins in a box instead of grapes.
Right.
It's been 7 years since I got my wife the best birthday gift I've ever gotten her.
What was it? A lawnmower? I mean,
a ticket to. One ticket to Georgia Notre Dame.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Which then guaranteed that I got to go to Georgia Notre Dame.
That's a good idea.
How with one ticket?
Because I then put in for the media credential and everything else, and I sat in the media section and watched it from there, and she was in the stand, still one of her favorite games, but it guaranteed, once we had that ticket, hey, we're going to Chicago, we're going to South Bend, this is what we're doing. This is very suggestive.
Dude, I love it.
I'm just telling you,
that's well thought
stuff.
out. But I got to tell you, I think the charcuterie board is the way to go versus the appliance or mop.
He's so disappointed.
I mean, just get a meat lover's pizza. It's all the same stuff on one.
Okay,
there you
go. Would that work? Could I just order pizza?
You just scrape the cheese, put it on the side.
Pizza. Jeez, man.
He's all in on this tire.
I'm telling you, I'm going to bring a Goodyear tonight.
I'm just saying that if you got her, like, let's say, for instance, a paddle, then that guarantees you get to buy a boat.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
We got a kid in college, man. We ain't buying.
I know. I told you, but hey, NCAA rules are changing.
I know.
We're excited about that.
I know.
Did you see about this, Rhino? Like they're getting rid of scholarship limits and all sorts of. Baseball.
34 scholarships
is going to 34 scholarships from the 11 2/3, which it's been that way since I was in school.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
No, it's great
for the kids.
Right? No, it's terrific. But affordability for mid majors. I mean, if they can afford
whether
34,
they'll fill all 34.
I don't know how they afford that. I mean, if you're Georgia or Florida or whatever, then yeah. But
you gotta hope
nobody
that
else.
your local community starts stepping up and supporting your schools in those areas. If you're a smaller school, I mean, I can't imagine, some small John Deere tractor place that's got a bunch of locations, car dealerships. Hopefully, they'll start chipping in and boost.
Yeah, I
can't see it happening.
I mean, small
He's
businesses.
He's gonna buy a boat.
I wish. But they say it won't
be this year. It's the next
worst
year.
day. Yeah, but they say the best day and the worst day in a boat owner's life is when you buy it and sell it.
Yeah,
I'd rather just know somebody with a boat.
That's true. That's what they say.
Well,
but you know what?
I'm just saying, if you go your whole charcuterie board, you're not going to ever know anybody has a boat.
Yeah,
those are dudes.
So what if he bought like life vests? Because then that leads to what are we going to use these for?
Well,
the new boat.
Can I just? I hate to squash that. I mean, I love it. That'd be good.
The most fun white trash device ever.
Yes.
What's
awesome.
What's the old meme? Money doesn't bring you happiness, but it can buy you jet skis.
Yes.
I've never seen anybody not happy on a jet ski.
It's right. Great things.
Like that's dead on, man. I can't argue that.
Yeah, the two greatest things you can get. I would love a jet ski and a snowmobile. Although we don't have snow, but I would like to put it somewhere.
Four-wheeler. Maybe
snow.
go with a
four-wheeler would be fun. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, dude, that's because
I do like those John Deere Gators. Like those are so much fun,
dude. Now that I've been after buying a golf cart, one of those decked out golf carts, forever. Like I don't know why. I don't know that I really want one. I just think they're cool.
You know what golf carts have? Tires.
Yeah.
You buy her a tire for a golf
cart tires.
And there we go.
See,
I got a buddy that fixes them. I could probably get you a bunch of golf cart tires and wrap them up for you and bring them over.
Customized. Yeah. All set up.
What do you do with that afterwards, though? You know what I mean? Like after the night's over and you're like, all right, I got this golf cart.
Well, it's like my mother-in-law.
Be like, tomorrow we're going to get the rest of this cart.
Yeah, let's go.
It was Christmas probably, 6 or 7 years ago, and she got my father-in-law a set of big pool floats, and it was suggesting that we're going to put a pool in.
I got it. I like it.
And then she decided, after about 3 months, to not let him have the pool.
Oh.
Which was a bummer that he's still kind of broken up about, and he has the pool floats. But you got the pool floats. You thought to yourself, my wife's going to let me buy a pool and put her in a pool in the backyard.
Turns out
she decided no.
That's wrong.
But it was a really
terrible.
cool Christmas present at the time. He got all teary-eyed.
No, but it wasn't a really good Christmas
At the
present.
time. At
no,
the time.
it wasn't.
Now looking back, that's the worst.
That's the
I
worst
get it.
Christmas present you
All
could
that
have ever
excitement.
gotten.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
That's
so much excitement for a pool, and now he's just sitting out in the desert with pool floats.
Yeah, dude, that's awful.
That's
Gosh, why would you
horrible.
do? That's as bad as the Braves game last night.
Oof.
I sat up and watched that bull crap.
Did you?
Yeah, I did too.
Did you?
Not me.
I was sitting there in the ninth going, go to bed. Go to bed. They're going to lose. Go to bed. And I didn't. And they did.
What a comedy of errors in that you get a man on third with one out in the top of the ninth, or top of the 10th.
Yeah.
And you then have, for some reason, you have a person square around a bunt, which we're just offering at it. And at that point, man on third breaks because, it's a squeeze play. And then you get off. Then when you get to the bottom, you then have the ball by Ramon Laureano get overrun in right field. Like he ran past the ball to catch it to be the third out of the inning.
Yeah.
Boy, this season started off with so much potential.
It's just it's a brutal stretch right now. 1-5 after the All-Star break.
Yeah. I mean, I know we still got time. But we got
Time for
there's
what?
got to possibly
Wild card, maybe?
Maybe. But that's the thing. Like
Now you're up by a game.
yeah, but that's the thing. That's the you have
The outfielder overran the baseball. He's a major league player.
That's what a freaking 4-year-old does.
Yeah.
Not a major leaguer.
He legitimately had the ball sitting, down the right field line, and he ran past it
Dude,
as it dropped behind him.
Just jaw on the table. I flipped off the TV, threw the remote on the
I'm so
couch,
glad I don't
and
listen.
yelled an obscenity. And
That
and then
dude's
went on
eating a
to bed.
cheese board this morning.
Dude, cheese boards dude, he's getting the
what's up.
hookup if that's the case, because cheese boards are great.
Yeah, he shouldn't even get that.
The team sent it over to him, let him know what they think about him.
Yeah. With a plane ticket.
Yeah, that's right.
As he gets to the bottom,
Yeah.
plane ticket
Last piece of
underneath.
cheese just shows his location.
He's just picking up the
where he's
last
flying
piece
to.
of pepperoni, and he's like, does that say Gwinnett?
No, that's got his mama's address on
Yeah.
there. We're not even sending you to
Bye-bye.
Gwinnett. We're cutting you all together. You are done for. All right, we've talked about nonsense. I swear we'll talk about things that matter in just a little bit. Here on Extra 106.3, let's do the headlines.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Talked about nonsense, then we're going to talk about Kamala. It's pretty much the same thing.
It's the same thing. Happy Friday, everybody.
But we'll at least give you some top stories here in the state of Georgia for today, Friday, July 26th. The search for a missing 12-year-old girl from Hall County came to an end after 57 days. Maria Gomez Perez was found safe in another state after she reportedly made contact with an unknown person who picked her up from her house in Gainesville on May 29th. The Hall County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Bureau located the girl, but no details were released about the location or suspect. The possible kidnapping of a 13-year-old girl who was found at a Super 8 motel in College Park has led police to begin an investigation into a possible human trafficking case. Police caught up with a man and a girl after they fled the motel. They took them into custody. The girl's name was not released, but she was reported missing in South Fulton. And in sports, the Atlanta Braves have racked up 5 straight losses as the Mets won their 4th straight game with a 3-2 win last night. The game took 10 innings, but the Mets' Jeff McNeil delivered a game-winning single in the bottom of the 10th to give the Mets the victory over the Braves. Game 2 tonight from the Big Apple. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for the Braves. First pitch scheduled for 7:10. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
You should see the faces on the hosts of MSNBC when they talk to swing voters about voting for Kamala Harris and what they think of her now that the Democrats have pushed Joe Biden to the side. What they think of her when she didn't let anybody know that Joe was declining. She said everything is okay. You should see it. It's great. We'll let you hear it. It is. Get ready to pick your jaw up off the floor just like they did. Next on Extra 106.3.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
You've got, let's see, we'll count today, tomorrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more days to get a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 of that maintenance agreement go to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. That's a great hospital. They focus on kids. They focus on your grandkids. A terrific hospital that is needed and beloved in Atlanta. So Chuck, who's been operating a locally owned business for like 77 years here in Atlanta, it understands the value of CHOA. And so when you sign up for a maintenance agreement, they want to support something that means something to you too. So get a maintenance agreement today. You got about a week to go for Christmas in July, and then we're going to take a big old Happy Gilmore style check over to CHOA and give them all the money and turn it over to them. What do you get in return? Well, you get a system that is maintained well enough to keep your family cool in the summer. And then when we get to the winter, your family warm at that time as well. Your system will last longer, costing you less money in repairs. So there you go. Good reason, helping CHOA and maintaining the HVAC units that you have at your house. Get it done today by calling Central Heating and Air Conditioning, 770-GET-HEAT, and go to centralheat.com if you'd rather hit the website.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects Warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help Warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Diamonds Direct Atlanta is now open. The nation's fastest growing jewelry store now has a location right here in Buckhead. Shopping for the perfect ring to pop the question? Or maybe an everyday diamond tennis bracelet? The experts at Diamonds Direct are sure to have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the occasion. With the lowest direct importer pricing, you can expect the best selection of certified diamonds at unmatched prices, all within a luxury showroom atmosphere that makes you feel right at home. Come see what other jewelers are trying to replicate. Diamonds Direct's unbeatable after-the-sale guarantees and warranties are the best you can find. Free cleanings, sizing, polishing, accent diamond replacement for the lifetime of your purchase. If that's not enough, they also offer a 110% upgrade policy for you to use as often as you'd like on your diamond engagement ring, pendant, or studs. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, come see how Diamonds Direct is reinvigorating the jewelry industry at their brand new Buckhead showroom. When you want to have complete confidence in your jewelry buying experience, shop with the experts at Diamonds Direct. Now open on the corner of Maple Drive Northeast and Peachtree.
Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Yeah, I got your app. I live out here 30 miles west of Augusta. I'm so glad Conservative Talk is back on the air.
Tug, Rhino, and Lowe's on the Morning Extra, an Extra 106.3. Growing up in Northwest Georgia, I've been told my whole life Georgia's one of the friendliest states. Man, I love going to Georgia when people visit. Georgia, always one of the friendliest states. Until these days. Apparently, Newsweek has changed their mind on my beloved Georgia. Huh? They tell me Georgia's not one of the friendliest states. They say Tennessee, South Carolina, Texas, Wyoming, those are the friendliest states. Georgia's not on the list anymore.
Well,
that's terrible.
It is terrible, and that's sad to hear.
I like friendly people.
It's terrible.
That's the worst thing you could have told me this morning. I mean, come on.
Maybe it's because we have too many Democrats here.
Could be. Maybe Metro Atlanta, because of how transient it is, has turned Atlanta into maybe not as a friendly state as it used to be. But and they say, Newsweek says the least friendly states or the rudest states: Delaware, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York. Those are the ones.
All blue states, huh?
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's according to Newsweek.
It's angry people.
Just a bunch of mad people running around.
Mad people, angry people. Mean people.
Mean.
Burning flags.
Yeah.
Spray painting things everywhere.
Lowe's, Texas is friendly, though. They say that's what Newsweek says. Texas, your beloved homeland, is
it's
super
always
friendly. Yeah,
even in the People's Republic of Austin, it's a friendly place.
It's a very friendly.
It's
they're just crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still very friendly.
Yeah, right. They will put you in a gulag with a smile.
They're friendly communists. Yeah,
that's so crazy, man. Anywho, when I read that this morning, I just like, well, wait a minute. What is happening? Not that I believe anything Newsweek reports. I mean, Newsweek reporting is, you take that with a grain of salt.
I think a lot of it is just pace of life, man.
I guess so.
The faster pace that life is required, the meaner people are. And I think a lot of it comes back to that.
I do, too. And Atlanta is a fast pace of life. It really is.
It's got to be.
Yeah, and I'm not in favor of living real fast. And
traffic alone in Atlanta will make you a little bit miserable.
It will.
Man, you should live in New York.
Oh, my God, yeah.
This is slow to me compared to New York, but I love it. But it's still fast paced. Like the difference between like Hiawassee, Cherokee, and Atlanta. Like Cherokee's a little slower.
Yeah, thank God.
Hiawassee is like going backwards some days, which is beautiful.
It's like three different worlds all in the span of like an hour.
But I'll tell you though, they say there's a great line from a Kenny Chesney song called "Back Where I Come From." He said, "Some say it's a backwards place," kind of playing off what you're talking about, the backwards pace. Narrow minds and narrow ways, and I make it a point to say that's where I come from. Hey, man, me too. I'll take backwards these days because backwards seems to be the most logical. It seems to be the most common sense. Folks who are living slower, almost where time goes backwards, those are my people. I'm glad to be friends with them. I'm glad to spend time with those folks because they're just real. You know what I mean? They're not trying to put up a mirage. They're not trying to tell you how wonderful they are. They just kind of go about life and live it, and they cherish the things that are important. And that's exactly what I want to do. So count me in for living backwards these days. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Now let's talk about swing state voters because I suppose at one point you could have kind of called Georgia a swing state in the last couple of election cycles. It's there's been a little bit of a pendulum with Georgia, but I think that's over now. I don't think that Georgia will go blue or even purple at this point. But swing state voters were asked about the things that Kamala Harris knew. What did she know And what does that mean to you?
Tug, by the way, this is the greatest piece of comedy we've had in the political world in the last 24 hours.
No doubt, because let me tell you, MSNBC did not see this coming.
They did not see this coming.
They're like, jaw on the table. I cannot believe what these people are saying. When they were asked about Kamala Harris and what she knew, what did the Democrats know, and what will they do to protect themselves?
Who do you blame for President Biden being in office in this condition? Who deserves the blame?
His close staff. They work with him every day.
So I think that's what also makes me nervous about the Vice President Harris.
Talk about that a bit.
So yes, she's going to be in it, but she also helped keep him in where he's at right now. And if he really is as bad as what they've been saying, I think if he steps down as president and she steps into the presidency before the end of his term, it almost makes me question a little bit more why it didn't happen sooner. She's worked with him. She's been, to my understanding, with him daily, or at least a couple of days a week. Why hasn't this been brought to her attention? If she's willing to hide that type of information once she's in office, now what she's willing to hide for herself.
Woo, boy, that's scathing right there. If she's willing to hide it for somebody else, what would she be willing to hide for herself?
Women don't trust her, man.
Buddy, it is clear, especially in swing states.
Well, let's be honest. She's been doing this for so long, and you've trusted her all the way up to this point. You trusted Joe Biden up to this point. You didn't open your eyes and see what everybody else in the country saw. You just didn't want to believe it. And you know what? I understand where they're coming from. I get it. I don't trust them. They've lied to us time after time after time after time. Kamala is continuing to lie. She's still making things up. They're still throwing out all they have on the lies that they're going to cut Social Security. They're going to cut Medicare. Oh, and be very afraid of Project 2025. That's Trump's policy, and it's not.
When I hear this from swing state voters, it does give me a little bit of hope. It gives me hope that they have not fallen for the media hype. This what did you call it yesterday, Los? Rebranding?
It's a rebranding, a rebirth of who she is. Suddenly, she's the greatest politician you've never heard of.
Yeah, so this fable, if you will, this new tale of Kamala Harris, and then the differences in Biden and Kamala Harris.
How do you perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Right.
And that's what she was supposed to be doing and in charge of. I mean, as a school teacher, if I did not do what I was supposed to be doing, you better believe my job would be in jeopardy. Not only was her job not in jeopardy, she was just handed a promotion.
Is there anyone that Kamala Harris could appoint as her vice president that you would find reassuring, would make you consider voting for her?
No.
Wow.
I would know RFK Jr. way before her. Yeah.
Absolutely. So these women, these swing state voters, they did not get Axios' message that she was not the border czar, because the first thing out of their mouth was, she did nothing about the border.
Well, they wouldn't be fighting this so hard or saying that, and saying, oh, she's never been the border czar, blah, blah, blah. They wouldn't be fighting it if they didn't know that most of Americans are believing that she was the border czar and put in charge. And that's the important part. She had a job. She couldn't do it. There's no reason to believe that she'd be able to do it while she was president. I hope that continues down. I think it will. I think more people, the excitement will, it hit quick, and the sugar high will come back down, and people start looking at Kamala Harris for who she is: an extremist, a liar, somebody who's obsessed with power, and who really doesn't love America the way it's supposed to be, which is a republic. She wants to tear this republic apart.
The last 4 years, I don't think I've ever in my life had such a comedy of errors made by a Democrat Party that is typically so slick and so well planned out and sees the forest through the trees. To think that she was given a responsibility that she could never fulfill, and yet then it becomes the very thing that everyone brings up about her. Again, it's one thing when we say it.
That's
when
right.
swing state voters who are, they're paying attention, but they're not locked in the way we are. When they're all saying, hey, she's in charge of the border, it's like, sorry, you can't. This was all done by Joe and Jill to keep her under the thumb, to go along with all the lawfare and everything else. Like, this is a comedy of errors over 4 years that has led us up to this really crazy situation this year.
And it worked. Listen to the swing state voters. She couldn't even help on the border. Is there anybody that she could get you to
and that
vote
is
for?
That is a Joe and Jill decision.
Absolutely. Yep. But she can't shake it no matter how many times Axios or MSNBC or CNN tells you she was not the border czar. Yes, she was. They reported. They're scrubbing their own websites to take down articles where they call her the border czar. That's how manipulative the mainstream media, the drive-bys, as Rush Limbaugh, the great Rush Limbaugh, would have called them. That's how manipulative they are. If you've ever been confused about them telling you the truth about anything, here's just another exclamation point telling you they will not.
Yeah, look, this is the same thing over and over and over again. We go over this every single day about how the media continues to lie to us. I mean, it's not a shock to anybody anymore. And it's not a shock to me that these swing voters feel this way, and it won't be a shock to me when people sit out of this election because, you know what, quietly, they're not going to tell you that they're not going to vote for this woman. Or people are going to quietly go ahead and vote for Donald Trump and vote for an America First agenda over her. I'm not worried about Kamala Harris. They want you to worry about her. They want you to think. And you know what? I want you to think that way, too, just so you get out to the polls and vote, because we need to continue to get down that path where we're voting, we're energized, and we're making sure that we bring this republic back. That's more important than anything else. And I'm glad that we're on the side of truth and we're on the side of research and we're trying to find more and more information out every single day rather than the side that they are, which, give them credit. They've lied so much, and it's worked for so long. Why would
Why
they
wouldn't
stop?
they not lean on it? Yeah, absolutely. It's been their calling card, Los. They're not going, and they won't continue, man. They're going to continue. The mainstream media will continue to push how terrific she is, how wonderful she is. I think I said this, I don't know, it's been a few weeks back. They're going to treat her as if she's the second coming of Christ. And that's the way it's been painted so far. At least everything that I've seen, they've talked about how wonderful she is, how diverse she is, yet she's been able to accomplish nothing.
This is going to play out for the better part of the remainder of this week.
Sure.
And we'll probably get it through the weekend and the Sunday shows about how great Kamala Harris is. And then you're going to hear her, and then you're going to be inundated with the cackle and the screech and all of the things that they're superficial. They are. Yeah, but they are a factor when it comes to who people start to who they listen to. Really, it's about the packaging. Because Donald Trump ends up coming across as he's this 6'2", 6'3", he's a little bit gruff, he's very New York, and he's telling you how it is, and for some reason, that's always worked, whether in if you want to talk about the entertainment world or in the political world, it has worked. Kamala has never really had the experience of being outside of a liberal California bubble and trying to sell herself to other people. And I just don't think it's going to work very well.
No, I think you're right. Unless you are Elizabeth Warren. Now, Elizabeth Warren thinks that Kamala Harris is great.
What do you think has been her biggest accomplishment since she's been vice president?
Oh, I have to say, since the Dobbs opinion, the way that she has rallied women and friends of women, also called men, around this country on the issue of abortion and just taken it home. First vice president in history to visit an abortion clinic. Go get them. She's someone who talks openly about
okay, all right, enough. Because I got to go back to that.
All right,
she's
Pocahontas.
First, her accomplishment. What's her biggest accomplishment? That was the question on CNN. What is the best accomplishment? What's her greatest accomplishment? That she went to an abortion clinic. That's her accomplishment.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not an accomplishment. That's doing nothing. I mean, that's like saying she went to 7-Eleven. That's like saying she went to church one day. I mean, obviously, those completely opposite in the location and what they do at those places. But that's not an accomplishment.
Of course it's an accomplishment.
A walk in a park is not an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment for them because you know what? They want to, again, they don't want 8 billion people on this planet. They want to abort babies. They want to kill children. Of course it's an accomplishment. It's where she wants to be because one of the accomplishments is to stir emotion, to win elections by lying and stirring emotion. And that's exactly what she did. Yeah, of course you and I think that's not an accomplishment. An accomplishment would be telling me what you're going to do to fix the economy, what you're going to do to bring energy in. We don't have that. What we have is a woman who's going to stand up there and take away the thought of, hey, we should have personal responsibility in life. Instead, blame somebody else and then go ahead and say, hey, but by the way, I'm going to go where they kill babies and I'm going to support the killing of babies.
Let me tell you why she's a failure. And this goes back to the Obama years, and everybody write this down because this is how this now works in this country because everything is about how fast you get it, and did you get your 30 seconds on YouTube or on TikTok or on Twitter, and what soundbite you got out there. Favorability is everything now, all right? Favorability is everything. We saw during the Obama years that the policies barely had a 30% favorability rating. People did not like Obama policies. They liked him, though.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. The reason why I say Kamala has failed is because the only one with a less favorability rating when it comes to the administration under Joe Biden is her.
Yeah.
Your job is to try and create this atmosphere of, you know what, I kind of don't care for Joe, but Kamala, all right, I'm pretty on board over here. How can she be under Joe Biden in favorability? It's because she comes across as being very fake.
Yeah, just very unlikable. I think that is so well said. It's Tug, Rhino, Front Office Los on the Morning Extra. When we come back, AOC. She thought she had this big win. Unfortunately for her, she didn't see the big picture. Next on Extra 106.3.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
I don't know what you got going on this weekend, but it's not too late to sign up for a really cool class that they have over at True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. The handgun care and maintenance. If you really want to learn about taking apart your handgun, about taking care of it, about what you need to do to make sure that it will fire when you need it to fire in an emergency, well, that's a good class for you, and it's coming up at True Prep. That's the one great thing about a locally owned and operated business is they do care about the community. And at True Prep, well, more than ever, they care about the community because they want to make sure you're safe and prepared in case of any kind of emergency. Whether you need to have water, they have all the water filtration needs right there in their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. Whether it's freeze-dried food, firearms, first aid kits, seeds, books on what to do in case of an emergency, they have everything there, but even more important, they also do classes all the time. Go online at trueprep.com. Check out some of the classes they got coming up. Next weekend, they've got their Intro to Emergency Preparedness and their Bug Out and Get Home Bag class. Those are two really important classes. If you're new to preparing, the Intro to Emergency Preparedness would be great for you. If you're new and you just want to start small, a Bug Out bag. That would be a great class for you to attend. Learn everything you need to put into a bag to make sure that you are safe. True Prep in Marietta Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth has it for you. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4, or the Subaru Forester. The SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where the adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com or come visit us today on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth. We're Subaru of Gwinnett.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Josh Forbes with Scram Systems. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at the podcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Keep up with all of our shows and the latest headlines by following Extra 106.3 on Instagram, X, Facebook, Truth Social, and all your social media platforms. Plus exclusive giveaways and more. So follow now at XTRA 106.3.
I've talked about how much I love and admire Dr. Ben Carson so many times on the show. In 2016, when he was running for president, I voted for him in the primary. He went on to endorse Donald Trump. That's who I voted for. And last night, I was watching his interview. It's about an hour and a half, hour and 45 with Tucker Carlson. I got about halfway through it. He is more brilliant than anybody else. It's just the way it is. But the reason I bring it up is because Tucker has this platform where you can sit instead of watching short segments like he used to do on Fox News Channel. He does full-on shows now on X, Los.
Don't you get so much more out of, rather than seeing a 5-minute segment with somebody, here's the 4 or 5 questions, to see somebody sit down and do the long-form interview?
Love it.
And talk about all sorts of different aspects of whatever their life is, whatever their opinions are. I want to go back to when Tucker Carlson was fired over at Fox News. And by the way, his final commentary was when he was questioning the jab. Okay? Before you knew it, somebody made some phone calls and Tucker Carlson was out of a job. Your girl AOC really thought something had occurred.
She's
I know.
So cute.
I know
She's
you're
dumb
always
as
saying
a bag of hammers, but
you're always like, she's so cute. And she's dumb. But so take a listen to AOC. She was taking the victory lap several years ago, and then we'll give you the Paul Harvey rest of the story.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country, I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled, and then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something. But deplatforming works, and it is important. And there you go. Good things can happen.
There you go.
I don't even understand what she's saying.
She just talks in circles.
And now
she's so hot, I didn't hear a word.
Yeah, exactly.
All I did was picture her face, and that's it, right?
So the other Paul Harvey end of this is that Tucker Carlson just passed Joe Rogan for the number one amount of downloaded and listened to when it comes to podcasts on Spotify.
So she was right. His hand came up like a Marvel movie and grabbed the world by their Twitter.
We already talked about how he was doing 50 million views on certain things that he was posting on X. And beforehand, on Fox, it was 3.5 million. The fun part is, baby girl, he went and exploded. Like, Fox News was containing who was hearing him.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's everywhere.
And now but that's the thing, though. She's so short-sighted. I mean, she has no idea. Like, she speaks from emotion, like most Democrats, instead of thinking it through, going, wonder how this will turn out. She immediately said it's going to be bad for him, and she was completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't know, and that's the problem with the Democrats is they don't understand the consequences that do follow. They never see past their emotion. Their emotion drives them so much they can't see what's going to happen any further, which is why a lot of people right now, I think, are going to look at this presidency and say, too driven by emotion. There's nothing there. There's no facts now. How are we going to help most of America instead of these small packets that you're pandering to? It's the same thing with AOC in this situation. When you find someone who is being shut up, people tend to listen more because they want to know why they're being shut up. And that's what happened to Tucker Carlson. He's telling the truth, and people don't like it. People don't want to hear the truth, and they will go and search it, though. The ones that do want to hear it, and it happens to be a lot of people that agree with Tucker Carlson. This is the best move. We said it from the beginning. It ain't going to hurt him, and he'll start outdrawing Fox News in a heartbeat. He had all the cards in his hand.
And on top of that, if maybe with AOC's vantage point, she didn't realize how powerful Twitter, now X, was. She knew what it was prior to Elon Musk, right? So she knew, hey, if he says it, they're going to take him down, just like they have in the past. The government will go get him. Like, she had all this worked out in her head.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, the house of cards falls down, and it becomes a place of free speech. And his credibility blows up and his viewership blows up. So maybe for a split second, she was right. It could have been that way had it been old Twitter, but it's not.
It's not. And remember, cable news is something that you have to go and pay for. You have to go buy cable. Okay, it's just part of it. So when you have Dr. Ben Carson, which it did like 2.5 million views, so nothing crazy.
I was one of them.
But then Jack Posobiec is on right after. And that did 10 million views already.
Right.
Again, this is a person who, if you just want to tell me what Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan's contract with Spotify to be an exclusive to Spotify is $250 million.
Yeah.
All right? Tucker Carlson has hit the crazy jackpot of all jackpots. Because whatever he was making over at Fox News, maybe it was 5 million, maybe it was 10 million, ain't close to what he's going to make once he has, obviously his network is rolling and people start trying to move in to try and get exclusive rights.
Or does Spotify realize that they can't keep up with the free platform, the free market that is Twitter, now X, and go, we can't pay this guy anymore. And then he'll go do the same thing Tucker did and blow up and probably make even more money.
He might as well.
Because at some point, Spotify can't keep paying Joe Biden.
No, they'll have to evolve.
Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah, they'll have to evolve to something else, a different kind of, look, they need to get into a different maybe video medium. You know, some kind of vodcast, like what you're able to do now on Twitter and all the other sites. I mean, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, all those sites, you have the ability to add video in. Spotify is going to make most of their money through their, subscriptions, through their songs and music more than anything else. And yeah, you do have some videos, but I don't think Joe Rogan does his video on there, does he?
Yeah, I think so.
He does?
Yeah, I believe he does.
Oh, well, they don't push it out well. Because I paid for Spotify. I didn't know that.
See, there you go. That's the
Spotify is at $13 million $13 billion in revenue. They're fine.
Okay,
they can add whoever they want. Now, that's the cool part about it is that the whole idea of exclusive rights, proprietary stuff. The only reason I go on to Spotify is for Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
I don't
pay
listen
for
to
it?
music. Oh, I go for the Morning Extra.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, right. Get it there. That's exactly right. Absolutely. Go get that there.
But no, you're right. I mean, that's Spotify, Joe Rogan. It's a podcast park. I mean, it's great for podcasting. It's great for music and making your list. And it's much more popular than a Pandora, at least here in this country. I don't know nationwide. It could be like soccer and everybody loves it. And here we're like, what's that? But
Morning Extra on Extra 1063. Yeah, I don't know. My wife made me watch soccer the other night. We were watching a replay of USA France.
How'd that work out?
I think they lost.
Yes, they did.
Because I finally I was like complained enough. She was like, "All right, let's watch something."
Good for you.
That's what happens in our house. That's right. I'm going to go get her retired. Peter Ducey got under KJP's skin when he asked her about Kamala's talking points cards. You have to hear it. You'll get a good chuckle this morning on a Friday. This is the Morning Extra.
Extra 1063 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
There are things that really worry me now about the upcoming election. It is inconceivable that the people of this country would ever vote for Kamala Harris for president. She is without accomplishment.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station. Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
The Braves are making back to school a little brighter this August with 10 days of amazing giveaways. Don't miss the Ronald Acuna Jr. 41 home runs bobblehead presented by Napa, the Outcast bobblehead, Ozzie Albies and his dog bobblehead presented by NextGuard, and many more. Come enjoy great baseball and collect these must-have items. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of August's A-plus giveaways and to get your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
Hey fans, summer is here and you know what that means. Exterior painting season. At Atlanta Painting Company, this summer, save 10% off of all exterior projects and get a free color consultation. We understand how valuable your home is, so protect your investment with our industry-leading warranty and unmatched customer service. Don't just take our word for it. We have over 900 Google reviews telling you why we're the painters you can trust. Ready to get started? Visit us online at atlantapaintingcompany.com to schedule your free home consultation. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
Self-employed in 2021, you may be entitled to up to $32,220 in COVID tax relief. At smartSETC.com, our ex-IRS auditors leverage credentialed knowledge to help you understand your claim with no upfront costs. Don't miss out on this opportunity to maximize the claim you're entitled to. Take our short eligibility quiz at smartSETC.com now. That's smartSETC.com.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Xtra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
A former president backs perhaps our next president. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Then Vice President Harris told former President Obama and Michelle,
I'm looking forward to doing this with the two of you.
In a statement, the Obamas say the vice president has what it takes to win the election, giving us all hope. Harris is the presumptive 2024 nominee after President Biden dropped out of the race, and she met with Israel's prime minister separately after President Biden sit down with Benjamin Netanyahu. And Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
Notably, it was Vice President Kamala Harris, not the president, who delivered remarks after meeting with Netanyahu.
Let's get the deal done so we can get a ceasefire to end the war. Let's bring the hostages home.
Shortly after, Harris also very quickly denounced the deaths in Gaza.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 9 months is devastating.
Today, former President Trump will meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu. A new New York Times Siena poll shows the 2024 race pretty much a tie, a 1-point Trump lead over Vice President Harris. There's trouble in France. Hours before the Olympics opening ceremony in Paris, arson attacks and other vandalism halting high-speed train service.
France's state railway company says the fires were set at installations along the lines connecting the capital with the country's west, north, and east, and that services will be severely impacted during the weekend. Train stations are already crowded with passengers not able to get to their final destination.
Fox's Chanley Painter, a Mexican drug bust in Texas. 2 leaders of the Sinaloa cartel arrested. Attorney General Merrick Garland vows they won't rest
until every single cartel leader, member, and associate responsible for poisoning our communities is held accountable.
America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
No need for traffic updates. We always steer you right. It's the Morning Extra on 106.3.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. I just read that 42% of people admit to peeing in the shower. That means, whatever the remaining amount is lying.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's no doubt about it.
It's impossible not to pee in a shower.
And when I was reading this, it linked me over to a website called She Knows. She Knows. The pros and cons of peeing in the shower. And in this article, it talks about how most women do not pee in the shower. And I'm like, well, okay, because I don't have any idea. And the rebuttal is, women are lying to you too because they pee in the shower as well. It's not just a barbaric man thing. It's just easy and simple. It's one of those things where I'm tempted to open up the phones and ask ladies, like, is this a real thing? Because dudes do it all the time. It's like peeing outside. There's nothing more glorious than peeing outside. There's nothing more manly than peeing outside. Peeing in the shower, it just happens. This is what you do. And the fact that women are either A, doing it and not admitting it, or they don't do it and find it gross, I'm fascinated by the conversation.
18 years of marriage, I've never seen my wife do that.
Nor am I.
In fact, my wife looks at that as being some sort of like offense to her beautiful shower. Like she would never do it.
Okay, all right.
Whereas when she just kind of gives me the look of like shame.
Done deal.
Of like, seriously, you're doing it again?
Done deal.
Like, are you really doing that in my shower?
This article claims that at least the person who is writing it claims no women do it, and then the social media below the article blows up and says that is nonsense. Women do it all the time. Maybe they just don't do it in front of us.
Yeah, I think like Erin pees in the shower.
Okay,
I don't know, like I don't see it. Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, I lifts her leg and everything. Just no. But yeah,
then she sails in her Viking ship to go conquer from there.
Yeah, that's
so
what you're
funny.
Why would you not like the warm water? It washes down. You got soap in there to clean as you go. I think it's just as clean as a toilet.
Well, it's funny you bring that up.
And you get to clean the parts.
There was a doctor that responded here, and the doctor talks about how urine is completely sterile.
True, you can drink it.
I mean, so
if you need to.
I mean, yeah, not that you want to, but if you needed to, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm not going that far.
Nor am I.
Survival situation.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. If you're like, if it's, what's the movie with Tom Hanks and he's stuck on the island, he's got Wilson the ball.
Yeah, Castaway.
Castaway. If you're like Castaway, then you have to, man. You're gonna, you're thirsty to death. You can't drink salt water. That's gonna make it worse.
You're gonna cut as many coconuts up first.
That's right. But as many as you can and get to. But that's the thing though, because you're right, Los. Women look at it, at least in my experience, they look at it as this is gross, this is nasty, and it's not. It's completely sterile.
Absolutely.
All right, completely sterile.
We've had the chime in from our friend Stephanie.
Okay,
she pees. I'm gonna guess that she pees in the shower.
She says, "Peeing in the shower?" ? There's running water in her drain, but then she notes, "But I grew up in the woods, and I had to squat behind trees to pee all the time. So what's the big deal?"
So she's a real woman.
I gotta tell you, man, I'm a fan of Stephanie's because she's so awesome. She's always, every discussion, she's always on the right side of the discussion.
Well, when we need women help, she's always able to step up.
She's the person that is there.
We need to hear from more.
Absolutely right.
Right now, the truth is,
741-1230.
Really, she shouldn't be like living with a roof over her head. Like, she should be out in the woods.
Yeah, right. And
Stephanie just to justify her behavior,
fighting bears and things.
Yeah,
with her karate.
Yeah, like she's living in a tent somewhere.
Just
living out in the woods off the land,
peeing right in the
wherever she was.
Just walk outside the tent and pee.
Do women pee in the shower? 404-741-1230.
Like her husband has like the inside of the house and she's just out in the backyard just roughing it.
Joe, we may need this as a poll on Twitter as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
if you can hook that up.
And husbands, answer for your wives.
Yes.
Say, yes, my wife is an animal and she pees everywhere.
But I don't think it's an animal.
Spraying.
Oh, I'm telling you, like all these years, never seen my wife do that.
I've never. Same here. We've been married 23 years. I've never seen it.
Man.
So that's why this conversation got my attention. That 42% of Americans pee in the shower. They admit to it.
See, I think it's easier to see if a guy does it. It's coming out, like a fountain. But girls, it just kind of like goes down their thighs and legs, and you might not even notice they're peeing right there. She might be tricking you this entire time, Carlos.
Yeah.
No,
you don't know.
No way.
I don't know one way or another. I just know.
Feed her asparagus and then let us know.
Then you would know
and then
for
shower
sure.
with her. Yeah. Then let me know. Because I'm telling you, that warm water hits your body. You lose control. You got to go.
You got to go. I agree with you, man.
I pee like I'm 6.
That's why.
I spin around, hitting the walls.
Listen, I'm once a
playing
week.
target practice.
Writing your name.
Like there's many times where I will get up and it's like, kind of like you're half awake.
Yeah.
You turn the shower water on, then you get in there and you realize I really should have used the restroom, the toilet, before jumping in there, and then you just go, I'm just right here.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's how it happens every time.
I just immediately flip on the shower and jump right in, knowing that I'm going to be first thing. That's just the way I do it.
Navy man.
Yeah, well, look, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Whereas your wife just shakes her head in despair.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Yeah.
This guy,
freaking animal. Joe, what do you do?
I don't.
You don't pee in the shower?
No, I just pee in the toilet beforehand.
See, there you go, Joe. Thank you for your sophistication, Joe. Thank you.
Just never. I mean, I've done it before, but
I believe
never been a habit.
I've never not believed something coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I do not
this is
believe
like so
what is coming
off-brand
out
for me.
Why?
I'm
Mouth.
normally a nasty, dirty boy, but this is nope.
Is there any reason why you don't?
I was just trained not to. My parents, when I was a kid, told me not to pee in the shower.
Well, every time they didn't, they threw you a cupcake? What do you mean you were trained not to?
Trained, I was told.
Like, oh, good boy.
They would just hit you.
They would, yes.
Did you pee in the shower again?
Damn it! Smells in here, Joseph Thomas.
No, but the bathtub, I can see. You don't want to sit in your own pee, but I'm saying the shower's right down the
I don't pee in the tub.
Yeah,
like
that's
if
what
I'm
I'm
in a
saying,
tub, I'm not going to pee.
Of course,
That was always a problem when my daughters were younger. Is that you get them in there and they'd be bathing and having a good time, and you're like, did you just pee?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Krista's on the line, 404-741-1230. Krista, please help us understand what is happening.
So occasionally, very rarely, because it doesn't feel good running down the legs, man.
That's right.
So
makes sense.
So it happens every once in a while, but not most women, probably not very often.
Thank you, Krista.
That makes sense to me.
Right.
That absolutely
There's
makes
something
sense
gross about urine running down your body.
Look, I can see it, but I'm just
not
saying.
when the warm water's washing it all off, right? I mean,
it's sterile.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm with you, Los. I'm just saying I can see.
I get it. I get the idea of it, but
I'll tell you what. When we hit the next break, why don't you go use the restroom?
Yeah.
Why don't you urinate on your hands a little bit and then just keep it there? And then just, maybe put a little water on it.
You wouldn't keep it there in the shower. Would wash it right off.
And I'm just saying, just put a little water on it, but no soap or anything.
But why would you do that in the shower? You have soap.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
your logic
you're just comfortable.
flawed.
You're comfortable urinating on yourself and just put a little water on it, right?
I never said I was comfortable.
You're asking women to be comfortable.
I'm asking because I don't know.
I'm telling you, get them a tire. Leave them alone when it comes to where they're going to urinate.
We're back to the tire.
Listen.
Last hour, we talked about good gifts.
I said, get a good gift. Give her a tire.
Tires. Lowe's said tires. Rhino said
Kristen knows what I'm talking about. She's like, you give me a charcuterie board. She's like, something wrong with you. You give me a tire. We're doing something here.
Krista, call back. If that is the case, I would love to hear your answer.
Set of 4, baby girl.
Look, if you have a jellyfish sting,
yeah,
you're gonna pee on it.
That's exactly right.
I mean, this is important. And if I'm in the shower with somebody and they have their back turned and I have to pee, sometimes I just.
Now, see, that's different.
I'm just kidding.
That's different. Come on now. That one's hard to believe.
See, that would be now that I would not like. That would be disgusting. Put your own pee down your leg, like with the water washing, and as you're showering.
I get it. I can see both sides. I really can. Like Krista said, once in a while it happens. Not most of the time. That's kind of what I expected. I don't believe any dude doesn't pee in the shower. I don't believe Joe Virgin River right now.
I have.
He has.
I've done it before. It's just not a habit.
I don't believe you.
I'm on the regular. I'm like once a week.
I'm on every morning. Every morning.
Barbarian.
It's apparently it's good for your athlete's foot too if you pee down there.
Yeah, that is true. If you do have some issues,
hit the drain though, man. Just right to the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, and women don't have to let it go down their leg. They're a little bit
Squat
more.
methods.
Yeah, they got a little bit more control than that.
I can't wait for like 30 years from now, and you're like trying to hit that drain, and your wife just walks by, like looks at like 75-year-old Tug trying to pee in the drain, and she's just so disappointed in you.
That's right.
Just looks at you going like, he's still doing this.
What a freaking imbecile.
There you are with your light stream, just peeing on your own leg.
My large prostate.
Your large prostate and your light stream. Can't get anywhere near the drain anymore.
It's just dripping on your toe.
He's just sitting there. He's like I'm just trying to use the restroom this morning.
That's right. Good Friday morning, everybody. Morning extra.
Can't wait for Tug's enlarged prostate 30 years from now.
Size of a grapefruit.
Exactly.
Seriously. I'm calling that 800 number.
Yeah, but I can't pee anymore if I want to.
I'm getting that 800 number calling for Flomax. Who endorses? I hear it all the time. I hear that ad all the time. Somebody endorses Flomax. I don't know if it's Sebastian Gorka or who it is, but somebody endorses it. Anyway.
Dr. Gorka here for Flomax. Are you dripping on your knee? Join me as Flomax.
If your prostate's the size of a grapefruit.
Millions of men can now put out fires thanks to Flomax.
There it is.
There's Dr. Gorka.
Dr. Gorka. Dr. Gorka for
Dude,
Flomax.
I think he scared children. That's the reason people quit using him for an endorser.
Yeah.
I really do, because it's just all of a sudden one day it just quit.
Right.
You know, he was scaring kids over there, I figure. But anyway, 404-741.
Knock shampoo bottles off the wall now, thanks to Flomax.
404-741-1230 if you would like to add to the conversation. Otherwise, we're going to move on and talk about Peter Doocy, because he went after KJP and Kamala and those crazy answer cards.
So we looked at it yesterday. We talked about how the national media and largely the Democrat Party as a whole kept saying all the same things about Kamala Harris. Just saying like, well, she was never border czar. Well, she was never this. Well, as it turns out, her administration, her campaign, were handing out cards on Capitol Hill of what you were supposed to say. Like, it legitimately on these cards told you what to constantly say about her. It was a group think. It was here's your newest download. So, by the way, when we're on Twitter and I have 7 or 8 of the biggest morons ever end up telling me like, she was never the czar. I'm like, because that's not a real term within politics, but yeah, she was. That's what they were calling her.
That was her job. You can call it. She was the border person. She was the border woman, border vice president. Right, she was in charge of it regardless.
Her job was to look at, just as Rhino told you, was to take Mexico, Venezuela, and a number of those other countries and try and negotiate a reason and a purpose as to stop crossing the border here. That was what she was supposed to do. All right, so take a listen to Doocy as he's there with KJP, and he asks about these cards, and KJP has to turn everything around and turn it into, oh, no, it's the Republicans' fault.
Democrats on Capitol Hill are being handed this card with talking points about the vice president and the border. Do you know who's handing this out?
I have no idea. You probably should ask her campaign.
So the first one says Vice President Harris was never appointed border czar. There's never been such a position. It doesn't exist. Why are Democrats so sensitive about the vice president and the border?
Why are Republicans so sensitive about actually not owning up to them getting in the way of a border deal? Why? Why won't they own up to that? Why won't they own up to the last president told them not to move forward? It was a bipartisan deal on just right there, available to them, and they voted twice against it. Why are they so sensitive to moving forward and actually dealing on an issue that majority of Americans care about?
Keep in mind, this is a question about why are y'all all in unison saying this about Kamala Harris, and she turns it into. And the fun part about all of that is because the Republicans, and namely Donald Trump as well, looked at that deal and said, this is nowhere near what the House has already passed. Do not move forward with this thing. And what has then happened? You force Joe Biden into having to revisit some of the border policies and make changes on his own.
This is the Republicans' fault for not really pushing H.R. 2 through and really making a big deal out of it. Let's be honest. They passed H.R. 2. Schumer and the rest of the Senate Democrats, even though this was a great bill in H.R. 2, really protected and secured the border, they put it on the back burner. They wouldn't pass it. So then the Democrats come back with a BS one that doesn't really do anything except for allow more people in. We see what it's doing. It's not stopping the flow at all. It's already in effect, and this is what they want. No, it's a joke. And now, I mean, she has the right to turn this around, but that's just a distraction from the truth. Kamala Harris is responsible no matter what. They came up with the border czar name, but she's responsible, and she will be held responsible for everything that's happening at the border.
But how damaging is it that they're handing out cards? All right. Yeah. Let's not bury the lead here.
Of course.
They're handing out cards. They're sending this to the media and basically telling everyone in the echo chamber, stop referring to her as having any responsibility at the border.
So what was her responsibility if it wasn't the border? What has been her responsibility over the last... Because that's the only thing I know.
Space.
Yeah, well, that, right.
But to talk to black... listen, the real truth is abortion. That's all she's there for is women's rights. That's all she's there for. She is...
And that's
for the left to say
that's
here,
a loose term, women's rights.
Here's the problem with the left right now. And they have no answer except for the fact that she's black and that she's a woman. They can't give me anything on her agenda, but that works. And that's what they're going to do is they know how to appeal to the useful idiot they need to continue to vote for them. They don't care about any issues. They don't care if there's even a ticket. They don't know who the VP pick is going to be. They don't even know what the process is in order to nominate her for the candidacy for the presidency. So these people will say or do whatever. She doesn't need to speak about anything when it comes to the economy. Does she need to talk about it? No. She just needs to say, we need to make sure that this is an equitable economy, right? That's all she needs to say. She needs to go to the women's rights and say, all we need to do is protect the women's rights and keep the crazy extremists away from women.
Morning Extra at Extra 1063. The 7 o'clock hour brought to you by Van Sant Law. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Friday, July 26th. The search for a missing 12-year-old girl from Hall County came to an end after 57 days. Maria Gomez Perez was found safe in another state after she reportedly made contact with an unknown person who picked her up from her house in Gainesville on May 29th. The Hall County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Bureau located the girl, but no details were released about the location or a suspect. The possible kidnapping of a 13-year-old girl who was found at a Super 8 motel in College Park has led police to begin an investigation into a potential human trafficking case. Police caught up with the man and the girl after they fled the motel and took them into custody. The girl's name was not released, but she was reported missing in South Fulton. In sports, the Atlanta Braves have racked up 5 straight losses as the Mets won their 4th straight game with a 3-2 win last night. The game took 10 innings, but the Mets' Jeff McNeil delivered a game-winning single in the bottom of the 10th to give the Mets the victory over the Braves. In Game 2 tonight from the Big Apple, Charlie Morton will be on the mound for the Braves. First pitch scheduled for 7:10 p.m. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
When we come back, a woman sentenced 41 months in jail. Learn the hard way. Do not go against the Democrats and pray in front of an abortion clinic because they will come after you. And they did come after her. Next on Extra 1063, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race.
History-making decisions like these are not to be taken lightly, which is why the conservative voice of Atlanta brings you the local and national voices you need most to make sense of all the noise. We bring you proud veterans, Atlanta Talk radio legends, and local perspectives that shape our communities.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months right here on Extra 1063.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
It either is or it isn't. When it comes down to it, that's all that really matters when choosing a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. It's either certified by Mercedes-Benz factory-trained and certified technicians, or it isn't. It's either backed by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 7 years, or it isn't. It's absolute confidence in genuine Mercedes-Benz parts, or it isn't. Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Dream Days sales event, now through July 31st. Come in today and take advantage of finance rates as low as 2.99% APR special financing on select models. Because in the end, it's either Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned, or it isn't. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Not all offers apply to all vehicles, and special financing available to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Services through July 31st, 2024. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call 770-390-0700 for details.
Securing America.
In a joint appearance with Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, Joint Chiefs of Staff Chair General C.Q. Brown identified America's 5 top global challengers.
People's Republic of China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and violent extremists. All 5 of these challenges are active today, and they're increasingly interconnected.
That makes NORAD's intercept of bombers from 2 of those challengers, China and Russia, off Alaska's coast significant. Secretary Austin said they did not breach U.S. airspace, but one small fact should be noted.
It's the first time that we've seen these 2 countries fly together like that.
Secretary Austin was asked, given President Biden saying he won't seek re-election, is this an adversarial test? He replied,
"They're always testing us, and that's no surprise to any of us."
NORAD says it will continue to monitor what it called competitor activity. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Hey, it's Clay Travis. Buck Sexton and I are coming your way at noon, but right now we're getting your morning started right with Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina on the Morning Extra.
I had no idea that bringing up just something I saw randomly on social media would cause such a conversation.
You're in trouble, by the way.
Danny Floyd, what? Danny Floyd said when you're Kimmer's age, running water in the showers triggers him having to pee right now. Why am I in trouble? What'd I do?
Because I saw your wife over at the coffee machine when I went out there. And I asked her about this. I said, listen, I've been married to my wife 18 years. I've never seen her do this.
Yeah, and I never have either.
And I just said, like, your husband's admitting that he pees in the shower. And she's like, what? And I go, yeah, he says he does it every day. And she goes, I stand in that every day?
No, because she doesn't stand on the drain. Nobody stands on the drain.
She just flat out was grossed out. She's like, seriously, I stand in that every day? No. I was like, that's what he's talking about.
It's sanitary. It's sanitary. It's
that sailor is making a mess in that in your sanctity of your shower in your home.
Thank you, Los. I thought we were good boys. I thought we were going to go to good old days maybe one day and have some cold pops. But no, you're busy selling me down the river to my wife.
I just asked your wife because I saw her and wanted to know if this was a regular. If you were to go to my wife and say, does your husband pee in the shower? She'd say yes, and it bothers me every time he does it.
Okay, all right.
She was under the impression that it was like maybe a one-time deal and that, you don't do it that often.
But she was way wrong.
Yeah, she was. She's learned now.
Thank you, because of you, because of my good pal Lowe's, who had to go and pin her up at the coffee machine asking her
I
about
just
it.
had to ask her that question. She looks so disappointed too.
Yeah, well, that's
it's not
I know
like,
that
listen,
looked well.
It's not the first time. It won't be the last. I say that
that's
about my wife all the time. Like tomorrow, at some point, she's going to go, "This is all you did for my birthday?" And I'll be like, "Yeah,
yeah, I got you a tire.
Here you go."
And then I'm going to take you to Twisters with the girls.
She's like, "Where's the other 3?" I'll be like, "I got you a tire."
That's right.
It's got a bow on it.
So good. It's got a bow on it. I put a bow on the tire.
Listen, you put a bow on almost anything,
I know.
and it either makes it special or comedic.
Well,
Like
comedic is, yes, comedic definitely.
Like
Just
a
have it in my
bow
case.
on, like for instance, I'm probably going to go and grab her a bottle of wine or two on the way home, and I'll throw a bow on it, and she'll think that that's really cute.
Yeah.
If I brought a bottle of wine on the way home any other time with no bow, it's no big deal.
Yeah, right. No, I get
But
it.
you put a bow on it, and
It's
suddenly,
special.
it's special.
Dude, we didn't
Can I do that
have-
with Windex?
Yeah, I think so.
By all means.
Put a bow
We
on
didn't-
it.
Put a bow on it. It's like,
When we
I know you wanted this.
When we bought Laura's new car, this is, like 6-7 years ago. John Kincaid, our former coworker down the hall at 680 The Fan, now
works in Philadelphia
Philly
now,
now,
yeah.
and doing such a great job up there and a terrific show. We didn't have a big bow. I to be honest with you, I didn't even know where to get a big bow. I didn't know. And now it's easy. Amazon fixes it, right? But I did have a small bow that I found in the, like in our...
Like in a prize closet?
Yeah, well, no, but it was at our closet in the house where Laura has the Christmas decorations
Okay.
and stuff. And so I just grabbed one of those bows and put it right on the rear view and took a picture of it. And I was like, see, we got Christmas. And John Kincaid was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen any human do. Why would you ever do that? I was like, I didn't have another bow. I just used what I had. Yeah, Laura, I don't even think she even noticed it because it was, yeah.
I would have hoped it was like the thought that counted. She
Yeah,
was like, did you put
yeah.
a bow?
Yes, I did. See, that's what I do.
Aw.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. If you still have comments and questions, as Lois and I were just talking about with peeing in the shower, whether women do it, is it okay? 404-741-1230. Another email just came in, and it was, you pee in the pool, too. No, I don't. I don't pee in the pool.
Oh, no.
Now, Joe Virgin River.
Oh, I pee in the pool.
Okay, see.
Oh, wait a minute. So you won't pee in the shower, but you'll pee in someone's pool?
I will pee in the shower. I just don't have a habit of it. And yes, every time I get in the pool, probably the first thing I'm doing is taking a leak.
That has changed as I've gotten older. Because I recognize that the other adults realize when I don't leave the pool for like 3 or 4 hours while drinking that they know what's going on.
Yeah.
So now I do make it a point
to get
clearly
out. So
to get out so that they look at me as, oh, he got out to go use the restroom again.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of acknowledges that I am doing this now.
Now, in the ocean's a different story altogether.
ocean,
Dude,
yeah,
we
that's
go
natural.
straight to the ocean. That's
you have to pee in
Of
the ocean.
course.
That's
Yeah.
the only place you can pee.
That's right.
I mean, I guess you could turn over and dig a hole if you really wanted to as a guy.
Or walk back to the
So wait a
hotel or
minute,
something.
Joe. Do you have a certain way? Do you try to play it off like you're just going in to splash yourself while you're peeing? Do you try to hide that you're peeing, or you just go in there and put your arms up on the side and go?
Why would I have to hide? I just let it go.
Okay.
I just
Because
act
people know
normally.
if you're just standing.
I'm not going.
If you're just standing in the middle of the pool, not doing anything, not moving, everybody knows what you're doing. I can tell when people are peeing in the pool.
No, I just continue my actions.
Whatever you're doing, you just continue.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
drink
You got to
and-
play it off, right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
drinking and peeing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I could swim and pee at the same time.
So weird. I won't, don't. I know you said you do. You don't regularly pee in the shower, but you do regularly pee in the pool. That is the worst scenario
What about a hot tub?
imaginable. Hot tub's so gross, too.
Not a hot tub.
Okay.
Not, of course not. No.
I'm still not going to
Oh,
invite
yes.
you over to hot tub and hang out, though,
No
now.
way, man.
Now that I know that you do that in a pool, you animal.
Morning Extra and Extra 1063. A Tennessee woman gets over 3 years in prison for what is described as blocking clinic access during a protest. Beverly Beatty Williams. She's from Ottawa, Tennessee, which is right next to Chattanooga. Ottawa is where Little Debbie is from.
Yes, and the honors course, one of the greatest golf courses in the country, really.
Ottawa's incredible. I love it up there. The nicest folks. She was at a June 2020 protest at Planned Parenthood, a clinic in Manhattan. Live streamed it and talked about it. All she did was pray in front of this clinic. That's what happened. There was, I guess, a scuffle, that come down because the workers were angry that she was there, and of course the media is going to take this as much out of context as they possibly can. Well, she got her sentencing, and her and her husband are on a trip to Las Vegas to just spend some time together before she starts a 3-year prison sentence. When Donald Trump says, I'm in their way, you have to understand that he is 100% right. He is just in their way. They want to come after you, too. If you're like me, you are not pro-choice. If you're a pro-life person and you're willing to go pray in front of an abortion clinic, they will come after you, too.
Did she spray paint like Hamas on the side of the building or anything on the building?
None of that.
She must have lit a abortion flag on fire or something. No, she didn't attack a police officer in front, drag him across?
Nope.
Well, they got out within the same day, less than 24 hours.
This woman sentenced to 41 months
41 months
in jail. I want you to hear
This is sick.
What she had to say, because she posted a 12-minute rant on social media, and we got 3 cuts, and I broke it down as best I could to kind of give you an idea where her conversation went. This is part 1, because she goes into this election and how important it is.
Let me explain something to you, and I'm speaking to the black community. I have to. If you in your heart feel like, oh, they're going to put up Kamala, I'm going to vote for Kamala, you are telling me how ignorant you are when it comes to politics. Not as a person, because just because you are ignorant according to politics doesn't mean you're an ignorant person, but you are very ignorant according to politics. And I'm going to tell you why. And a lot of people are going to get offended, but I don't care. I'm going to be honest with you. Kamala, number 1, has never been for the black community. I want you to understand something. Kamala has played a part, just like Joe Biden, in persecuting and putting African American people in jail by the droves. When it comes to drug crime, she has treated drug crime as if it was murder, okay? And then on top of that, the only reason why Kamala is a vice president in the first place is because she's black. It is not because she is qualified. It is not because she is competent. It is because she's black. Now, why should you be offended? You would think, oh, well, yeah, we black people, we supposed to support our black folks. You should be offended beyond rapport because of the fact that somebody is willing to put someone in a seat for their color, even when they're not qualified to do a favor for you.
She is 100% right. She's not speaking to me, but the words that she says is so true. They are so true. Merit matters. And when you go against what the Democrat Party says, they're going to come after you. And they know they have your vote. And she goes on to talk about that, how they have taken your vote for granted.
Let me explain something to you. That's how valuable you are to the Democrat community, okay? But now, boom, year 4. It's election time. Y'all, we ain't really did nothing for the I guess we got to do something. Let's call up Kirk Franklin, and he comes to the White House. Kirk Franklin went on that stage, and he danced, and he got a check. They paid him to please you. That's how important you are. When Hillary wants to campaign, she don't actually focus on issues in the black community that are needed. She says, oh, I got hot sauce in my bag, boo. Are you pandering to us? Is it working? Oh, y'all forget. Your memory is terrible. Y'all forget. She said, is it working? That's how valuable you are as a vote. That she don't even got to invest to get your vote. She don't even have to work and put the agenda in and start to show proof to get your vote, black woman, black man.
You've been taken for granted. And, dude, everything she said
dangerous.
Dude, let me tell you, you know why she's in jail now.
Yeah.
You know why she's gone against the agenda.
Yep.
Right now, abortion is the only topic that they have, and it's an emotional topic. They actually don't even have the topic.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't even have the issue because it's a state's issue. It's done deal, but the emotion will override.
It doesn't matter which country over the course of history you've ever been in. When it slides into socialism and communism, one of the first things that goes on is the opposition looks to lock up their opposition. And so when you start hearing like, hey, this woman's looking at 41 months or these people are looking at 6 years in prison, Yeah, because the other side, no matter what, in the course of history, always goes, let's find a way to lock up our opposition.
Yeah, they also will look for anybody who then defects, right? The first person they defect is the most dangerous person, and that's who she is. Because she is one of the sheep in the herd that is supposed to think just like every other sheep. She found the hole in the fence, walked out, and was like, hey, guys, freedom's this way. Freedom's this way, not what they're telling you about it. And she's 100% right. She is very dangerous to them, and that's why she will be locked up, and her First Amendment speech will be taken away, and they'll do anything they can. This woman doesn't deserve to be in jail for going and praying for life, to say, hey, I want this to stop, the murdering of babies. That's why she's going to jail. Meanwhile, the people murdering babies, you get not only that, but you get also assistance, help, and they'll take good care of you, and you're a hero for murdering a baby because you refuse personal responsibility and you refuse to do something that would have avoided even having to be in that clinic.
She went on then, Beverly Beatty Williams. She went on to tell people, do not listen. When they tell you it's raining, it's not raining.
They tell you it's raining and are pissing on your head, and you sit there and you let them, and it blows my mind, okay? Blows my mind. Let me explain something to you. I have never in my life dealt with racism. People are like, oh, technically it's systematic. Systematic racism means it's supposed to be racism there in the system, but you can't see it because it's so intertwined in the system. Let me explain something to you. I did not experience racism until the day Joe Biden used Letitia James, a black attorney general, along with Damian Williams, a black FBI head of FBI agency, and they indicted me for standing against the abortion murder of black kids. Do you know the agent that they used to investigate me was a black man? He has an African name. Do you know that they used their tokens to go after black people that got out of line?
To your point, got out of line.
Yep.
Dude, when I watched it, I couldn't stop watching her. I was so just unbelievably blown away by what she was saying. And the fact, Los, that she said, I've never experienced racism in my life up until I dealt with the Biden administration.
Well, you can tell how frustrated she is that she's willing to share
41 months.
all this flat out information and to tell you this is a game that's being played against all of you, and I'm the one who's going to bear the brunt of it. It's what she's basically flat out just spilling out there for you, spelling it out on a regular basis.
She said, do not get out of line because this is what they are going to do to you. And if you vote for Kamala Harris, a woman that has no merit, a woman that's been handed something just to lure your vote, not to help you, not to create an environment for you to be successful, but just to lure your vote.
You think about, like, in the course of history, like the Chinese Cultural Revolution, when you read about the history of that and you go, how could that occur? Where young people get so indoctrinated and become so emphatic that they're willing to turn on their parents and turn in their parents to the government for having thoughts that were considered to be against the government. You're like, I would never turn in my parent. Well, this is how this works.
Yeah, depending on the brainwashing.
This is how the brainwashing ends up going. Remember, we sat through 48 hours of a media telling you what to think. We spent 4 years of a media telling you what to think. If you start thinking for yourself, you become dangerous to the government.
Very dangerous to the government. And that's where we need we need this woman. They need to make sure that she's taken care of, and hopefully they can find someone that will appeal this, and hopefully they find like a Heritage Foundation that will find someone to make sure that she gets out of jail. And they need to have her go to every community with her. This is why I think it's so important for us to get into these low-income communities. We have such a great opportunity in Clayton County right now with the Democrats trying to raise property taxes at 31%. We should be there knocking on doors, having people like her join us and say, hey, come on, you got to break free of this. You've got to step out of line. You got to stop voting for what they're doing to you every single day. They're trying to keep you inside this fence.
It has been blowing up. People praying for Beverly Beatty Williams, and I hope you will too. And there's even a way to support her. There is a Give, Send, Go account under her name, Beverly Beatty Williams, if you want to help her with attorney costs and that sort of stuff. I was so moved by this woman and her passion, and I'll definitely be donating And I'm definitely going to be praying for her because this should not happen in the United States of America. And yet it is. It can be stopped. November is when we put a stop to it. You have to get out and vote. It's that important. It is that important. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 when we come back. Beating Kamala in November has come down to telling Americans what and who she really is. We'll piggyback kind of on this story next on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3.
With so many questions about what happens next, trust the conservative voice of Atlanta for the latest news and the voices you need during such an uncertain time in America.
Late last week, I said that Joe Biden would be gone by Sunday night. Usually, I'm so dead wrong with these spur-of-the-moment opinions, but this one, I just got lucky. It's bye-bye Biden.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
My wife and I talking about it yesterday. All right, when do we start the next project with Southern Exteriors? Well, we've already started planning it out. We've already started saving for it. We want to redo that back deck. We want to do some millworks because I didn't even know what that was until yesterday. I didn't know what millworks was. That's when you close in a back deck with some screens.
And electrify the moat.
Yeah, so we want to do that too. And I would imagine if I needed to electrify the moat that the folks at Southern Exteriors could do it. If I needed alligators for it, they could figure out a way to get me alligators for it. Can I get frickin' alligators? That's all I'm
With
asking
laser
for.
beams.
With frickin' laser beams on their forehead.
They're very talented.
That's right. Southern Exteriors, they come up with incredible. I mean, they've been doing this over 2 decades. 200,000 projects. You don't think somebody's asked for frickin' alligators with laser beams strapped to their forehead? Of course they have. Roofing, siding, gutters, porches, windows, doors, all exterior remodeling, doesn't matter, remodeling, and new constructions, they do it all. Millworks, too, if you want to know more about that, if you want to know what that is, because I didn't know, go to their website, southernexteriors.co, and you can find it out. But that's when they do that nice back deck with all the screening in it, because we were talking about that, too. Is that something we want? We want to extend the back deck. We want to screen in half of it. Enjoy the outside with all these Georgia skaters. Just a way to think about its possibility there. SouthernExteriors.co is their website. SouthernExteriors.co. 8779 Southern is their number.
Mark your calendars for the 2024 Ag Pro GON Outdoor Blast Sportsman Show presented by Dallas Safari Club, Georgia Drive Chevy, and Georgia Outdoor News starting July 26th through the 28th at the Lake Point Champion Center in Emerson, Georgia. Get ready for a weekend packed with excitement. Savor mouth-watering dishes at our Barbecue Village featuring top-rated barbecue from 441 South, Inked Pig, Das Barbecue, and Crow's Barbecue. Meet former UGA quarterback Jake Fromm on Friday and Saturday as he shares stories from the gridiron and his outdoor adventures. Think you got what it takes? Enter the 30-30 Ministries $1,000 shootout on Saturday. Break a raw egg from 45 feet, qualify for the finals, and compete to win $1,000. And don't miss the 35th annual Truck Buck Shootout on Sunday. Watch as the best Georgia deer hunters compete for the Furminator G3 food plot implement and a brand new truck from John Meagle Chevy. For more information, visit GON.com. Georgia Outdoor News, Georgia's ultimate resource for hunting and fishing.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Election coverage is more than polls and numbers. It's about what matters in your life and your community. And Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station cares about your community, your voice, and most importantly, your vote. So keep it all here for the latest and download the Extra 1063 app and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra and Extra 1063. This kind of piggybacks on what we were just talking about. Do not get out of line. You do not challenge the Democrats because they will come after you just like they come after Donald Trump like they did for Beverly Beatty Williams from Ottawa, Tennessee, who was sentenced 41 years for praying in front of an abortion clinic. But that's the thing, Los. You got to tell the truth about Kamala Harris. You have to tell voters who she is. That's what you have to focus on.
I think this ends up being the issue that's going to be not only just the easiest thing to do, but it'll resonate the most with the voters. We talked about yesterday that when you try and run from one of the states on the east or west coast, it's probably easier off the east coast because it's not as crazy. The taxation is what it is, and so that's a problem. The west coast ends up being this crazy progressive area where, hey, you want to remove the genitals from your kid? All right, let's do it. Let's do it for the state. I mean, there's so many things that are just so far out there. What you have to do is tie Kamala Harris into these crazy policies when you recognize that she, from GovTrack, was looked at as the most liberal socialist senator in the Senate.
Scrubbed now from that website.
Scrubbed now, of course. And then you can also find when this woman who was talking about defund the police, she was raising money for the Minnesota Freedom Fund. And these are the things that were basically fueling so many of the riots in 2020. Was making sure to get paid agitators out there, and she was the one pushing for this stuff. This doesn't take a whole lot before the facade falls apart and you realize just how far left, way outside of even Joe Biden, that this woman really is.
But then you look at Barack Obama's endorsement of her now. That's going to take away, right? That's going to suck up even more. That was strategy, man.
Sure.
How do we take up more of the election cycle coverage with good about Kamala and not talking about the Minnesota Freedom Fund?
And Rhino, I think this was the issue with it. It's not as if the man went out and did some sort of video with he and his wife. This was a phone call that then Kamala Harris said, okay, let's use this to go. I think the Obamas found themselves in some, of all things, a little bit of hot water, being that they were the only holdouts that were not backing Kamala Harris.
Well, yeah, because they've created the situation where if you're not black, or you're not black if you don't support Kamala Harris, right? So with Barack Obama not coming out right away saying, hey, this is exactly what America's about. This is who we want. They know who she is. They know how bad it's going to be. They know how she really doesn't have a chance to beat Donald Trump. Although I disagree. I think she does because they are only using the color of her skin at this point. And she had to leak this almost. And that's the way it seems to me, like Carlos said, is that they didn't come out on TV. They didn't come out to the New York Post and say, that's not true. We never felt that she can't win this race, and that's not why we're not endorsing her. They went and called her and said, hey, listen, we have to do this because we're getting so much pressure. We have to look like we're supporting the black candidate.
But they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is do.
But that's where I think it was underhanded.
Yes, I don't think they have to do anything because media is running with it all morning. How great is it that Barack Obama and now Michelle's finally endorsed? See, everybody's on board. How great it is. That's going to suck up all of the attention from the liberal media today.
Right, but they were forced to do that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They had to do it.
I think they got painted into a place of having to do it because the coverage for the last 48 hours has been detrimental to the Obama brand. Remember, the Obamas, it's not even so much about office. They're looking to sell you stuff. They want you to watch the TV shows they produce.
Yep.
Sure. No, I get that. But at the same time, if you're smart, you wait to do this, and it eats up the attention from things that actually matter, the failures of Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
How do we
Well, they
keep
didn't have a
all of
chance.
that out of the news cycle? That's just as important, keeping that under wraps.
Let me say this. Let's say there was a scenario where you didn't do Rhino wrong, okay? But you felt the need to call him up and say, hey, I didn't like how that show ended. I just wanted to apologize to you. I didn't like how this ended up going on. And within hours, Rhino posts that audio to Twitter.
Right.
You'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's what that felt like.
It
That's
did.
what that came across as.
Right.
As we're giving the personal endorsement so you have it, so you can say we've got a personal endorsement. And they took that video of the Obamas calling and turned it into, look at this huge endorsement. I think they were waiting on it and they took full advantage of it.
Yeah, I think what ended up happening was, I don't know if Barack Obama or Michelle Obama would have made that endorsement unless New York Post didn't come out. Like, they came out and said, hey, here's what we got. Here's what we heard in the back channels.
They're
And it
saying
was
she
true.
can't win.
She can't win. They don't want to endorse her. They don't believe in her. That was all the truth. And then they're like, hold on, man. Why would you even allow this? Because if that doesn't come out, we don't get that endorsement video today.
But it did.
But understand the fanaticism of these people. We always talk about how, whether it's movies, music, whatever, we all just go ahead and, like, I check my brain at the door. I'm like, George Clooney, your politics aren't mine. But if it's a George Clooney movie, okay, I'm watching, whatever. The other side does not do this.
No.
The other side will go, man, I'll do whatever I have to do to cancel you. They created cancel culture. And the Obamas looked at it very simply. This woman can make trouble for us if we don't endorse.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I love your example.
They did.
What?
Oh, I was just saying, I just feel like
they were forced
They
to.
feel like they were kind of forced into the scenario
Yeah, they had
based
to.
on the leaks that came out from the New York Post.
Right,
Absolutely.
but regardless, they did it, and now everybody is coalesced behind this, and the media is running with it today. That is going. That's my
fine.
whole point.
Yeah, be happy about that, though.
Well, but
be happy that it's
no,
early
it's not
into
good.
this. Why? Why is it not good? Because it's going to fall
It's good.
apart. No, because she has to still speak to America. She still has to go to an agenda.
Oh, yeah, no,
she
of
still has to
course.
debate.
But I'm saying
I'm
for
glad it came
days.
out now, because if this were to keep going on and they came out later, that gives her more momentum. Let it all die. This is all a sugar high. This is all a rush. Now they got Barack Obama and Michelle, blah, blah, blah. That'll play out. Guess what's coming up today? The weekend. Guess what everybody's going to do? Forget all about it. Come Monday, it's a whole new playing field. I'm glad they exposed it. I'm glad they came out yesterday and
They're
not next
firing
week.
all the big guns right now.
That's it.
What's going to happen is
That's all I got.
exactly. And after all the confetti
I agree with
drops,
that part.
like we always used to joke around about in radio when everybody would, have their show would start and they'd have like 3 Hall of Famers on their show. Like, oh, had all these people on their show. Confetti drops, and then, okay, that was Monday. What do we do on Tuesday?
Right, yeah.
Their campaign is going to be stuck on, now it's about her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be problematic. Once they got all the big guns fired, now it's about her, and the focus has to be on, these are the crazy policies this woman has pushed.
Right. Now they got grenades left after they dropped all their bombs.
Right, exactly. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. When we come back, Kamala's pitch for communism in America. Are you buying it? Next on Extra 106.3. Got a Neil Bortz report and a Fox News update, then more of Tug, Rhino, and Los.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
There's a lot of bad news out there today, learning that not only is the Secret Service gunched up with DEI and wokeism, but so is the FBI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI at the FBI, is a big thing now too. So much so that local police agencies, less woke, have decided not to share information with the FBI in most cases because they're unsure how it will be used. But the most distressing news today, next week, parents who otherwise believe themselves to be good moms and good dads are taking their children and sending them off to the government to be educated. The government that they know doesn't do anything well. The same government that couldn't keep a sniper off of a rooftop at a presidential rally because the slope was too great. The same government schools that Kamala Harris wants to force all children to attend by eliminating school choice. I wonder, and maybe some of you can help me here, are these schools still pulling the same stunt at the beginning of the year. I've talked about it before. The kids go off and they get their school supplies. They have a list. They're very proud of these school supplies. It's their stuff. But when they get to school, in many cases, not all, the teacher says, okay, bring your pencils up here, put them in this box, your tablets in that box, your white glue in that box. Okay, now, kids, whenever you need something, just go to the box and get what you need. In other words, all these school supplies become everybody's possessions. Private property, not here. We have to share. Just take what you need. What a wonderful lesson for these kids to start out their lives. Let me know, folks, if the teachers are still doing this. What a mess. Neil Bortz, Extra 1063. Have a great weekend.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Self-employed in 2021, you may be entitled to up to $32,220 in COVID tax relief. At smartSETC.com, our ex-IRS auditors leverage credentialed knowledge to help you understand your claim with no upfront costs. Don't miss out on this opportunity to maximize the claim you're entitled to. Take our short eligibility quiz at smartSETC.com now. That's smartSETC.com.
They didn't push Biden out because he had dementia. They pushed him out because the American people found out about it.
Yeah, that's right. The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 1063 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Obama for Harris. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The former president and ex-First Lady Michelle Obama endorsed the vice president this morning.
My girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
Oh my goodness. Michelle, Brock, this means so much to me.
And Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
Former President Obama reportedly held off on endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris because he wanted to see the party united and the nomination settled. Until the Democrats finalize Harris as their nominee, the Trump campaign says the former president isn't agreeing to any general election debates. Harris is accusing the former president of backpedaling.
In new Trump-Harris polls out since President Biden ended his campaign, the former president has a 1-point edge in a New York Times Siena survey. The Hill gives him slight leads in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, with a tie in Wisconsin. And today, former President Trump meets with Israel's prime minister after Benjamin Netanyahu met with President Biden and then Vice President Harris, who called for an end to the war in Gaza, calling Palestinian deaths and destruction devastating.
We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent.
There's a lot of frustration in France. Train service sabotaged hours before the Paris Olympics opening ceremony that some people may not be able to get to.
Reports say trackside signal boxes had been set on fire and cable lines deliberately cut in what authorities are calling a massive attack to destabilize the rail system. Delays affecting about 800,000 travelers.
Fox's Lillian Wu, a barely contained wildfire, has now charred about 250 square miles near Chico, California. There are evacuations.
There's a lot of anxiety in the air in this community, and understandably.
Chloe Curtis with Fox 40 Sacramento is near the flames.
A lot of damage. I mean, we've seen so much charred from trees, cars, vegetation, you name it.
A man's under arrest accused of starting the wildfire, pushing a burning car down a ravine. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
Hey gang, it's your old friend Neil Bortz. You can catch me every Tuesday morning here on the Morning Xtra. Now back to Tug, Rhino, and Carlos on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Poison Fallen Angel from the Open Up and Say Ah record, which was such a huge hit. Maybe my favorite song off the whole album. I mean, there's a bunch of good. Look, on Open Up and Say Ah, you also had, what else? Nothing But a Good Time was on there.
The hook of this song is so much fun.
So good, dude. Mama's falling angel. I know, right? It is so 80s. So 80s.
Yeah.
Every Rose Has Its Thorn is another one off the same record.
Yeah, they had their time, man.
Yeah, they did. And they're still having it. What are you talking about?
I know. Just there was a point where it was glam. But their glam was just always fun and cool.
Yeah, it is. Here's the hook you're talking about.
Here it is.
Sing it up. If you want to sing it out loud, Ameris Bank Amphitheater, August 3rd, caller 1063
or 5,
which identifies as 5.
7.
Oh, 3. Joe's giving us the 3.
Joe's like, I have no intern. Help. There's no one to answer the phone but me.
Or the first person that calls. That's the way he's looking.
Listen, if you tried to
whatever
go,
line hits, I'm picking that one up.
If you tried to even go for like caller, like let's say you would like go caller like 15. The problem is we'll never get to the Kamala audio because he'll be busy answering the phone.
Right. He is like a one-man band back there, so understand that he has got a lot on his plate. But yeah, so there will be a caller chosen. We'll say 163.
I used to know when they
so good. Dude, I love the whole record. The whole record's so good.
Yeah.
Open Up and Say Ah was so awesome. And I remember, I don't know why they changed the cover of the album, but they did. Remember, it was like this almost devil-looking thing.
Yeah.
And then they blocked it out, and it was just the eyeballs. And then, like, I remember hearing, if you have the original cover, it's worth $50 or whatever.
I'm always curious if that was because at that time period, it was Target and like the other, big box chain stores that were basically creating what could be shown on the shelves.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of curious about that one.
Maybe the case. I don't know why.
Because you remember when like the 2 Live Crew album came out, and remember it was all the booties, and they're like, you can't show that on our shelves.
No,
they changed that one real quick.
It's smart to do so.
Or even when you had Nirvana and their song "Rape Me," and they had to change every single one of them to say "Waif Me,"
WAIF,
and it was barely like the smallest little print on the back of the CD that said that.
And I have both copies still to this day.
Waif Me.
Yeah, that one and the real one. It's funny how it all works out. Anyways,
devil music. That's why.
Devil. That's what my daddy used to say.
It's the devil.
You in there listening to that devil worship?
Devil.
Wall banging devil music.
Speaking of the devil, you're gonna have Bret Michaels with Dee Snider. That guy's had a whole lot of really in the 80s. How'd you turn me into like devil worship music?
I know, right? Well, I mean,
I don't think Kimmer knows who Dee Snider is.
Oh, really?
Maybe
But
not.
did they do the read and it was a little
He was
bit off?
doing a read and he said something about D. Snyder being like, I don't know, the guy who invented pretzels. I don't know what he
But
said
that's
he
like
was.
Kimmer Wheelhouse, man.
I thought he knew him. I was like, wait, he knows who he is, really, right?
Surely. You know it's Twisted Sister's lead singer.
Then again, Kimmer at the time might have looked at it as like, okay, that's like silly kids music.
Right.
Oh, maybe.
You know, if you're talking like 80s versus 70s, you know, 70s music was much more the wheelhouse. And
Although
I agree with Lawrence. I think that was if you told me isolate one decade you can listen to music from, it's probably 70s.
You don't think Kimmer had like that glamorous hair and like got into that glam rock look?
Glam rock look.
Maybe. Could you see him in like spandex?
A pink leather
T-top
jacket.
Camaro he's driving.
Spandex that's like a leopard skin. Or like a zebra.
With a bunch of like
Kimmer with like,
fluorescent, handkerchiefs hanging off the side of his wrists.
do y'all know what Z-Bars are?
Z-Bars.
Okay, I want you to take a look at this. You too, Joe.
I know.
So Z-Bars were basically a pair of pants.
Those are the best.
They were out in like the mid to late 80s, and you had like they took over the NFL.
The Bears.
And so everybody had team-colored Z-Bars, and nothing screams like late 80s glam rock, whatever look than Z-Bars. Like I imagine him in Z-Bars.
Z-B-A-S-E?
Yeah.
Is that the way it's spelled?
So they look like kind of genie pants, and then I remember like the Jets were green and white stripes, and they look like tiger stripes, or I guess are they tiger stripes? I don't know what they're called.
Sorry, it's spelled Zubaz. Sorry, Z-U-B-A-Z.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Zubaz. Oh, wow. Oh, when was this?
Oh, this is late 80s.
80s.
Yeah, this is like seems like the NFL's 90s team in 89. Look at them all wearing, a good amount of them are wearing Zubaz pants.
I can safely say I never bought one.
I didn't either.
I was into they used to have the pants very similar to those called skids.
Was those the one with the Velcro in the front?
No, they were kind of like pajama pants, really, more than anything else. They were like a flannelish, like, is that what that's called? I don't know. But the pajama fabric, they were wider, and you wore them to school. They were tie-ups, and they had like a little sign, like a street sign on the back that had like a skid, like
skid marks.
Yeah, not skid marks, but like a sign that slippery when wet.
Yeah,
sign.
that's what I was going for when I said skid marks. Sorry about
Dan Marino.
Joe's probably had skid marks.
Being interviewed
in their shorts.
In his well, I mean, he's got his pulled up.
Oh, the Marino ones.
But then, they've also got the shorts version as well.
Yeah.
But that's what I imagine Kimmer wearing.
Marino. Yes.
Like that with a little bit of longer hair in the 80s.
Zubaz.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Playing golf.
We need to bring them back.
He's wearing his knickers playing golf.
You can get them officially licensed NCAA.
Oh, you can still buy them.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You can get them on Amazon?
You can go get yourself a pair of Bulldog ones?
No, I would rather get hit by a car.
Of all things.
Good Lord, no.
I would love to see you dress like that.
No way, man.
Come on.
Man, I'm a jeans
looking at these
every day
Zubaz,
kind of guy.
Then I got hit by a car.
I wished it upon myself. Low down.
I don't think I could wear those. I don't think I could ever wear those.
They're so loud.
But I was never like my mom and dad, or my dad did not care. My dad and I were the same. Jeans and a white t-shirt, we're fine. We don't care. My brother and my mom were Japs, and they were so annoying because they had to have Z Cavaricis. They had to have Big John's jeans. They had to have Z-Bot. Like whatever everybody else was doing, that's what my mom would go.
They're into the mainstream, whatever.
Yeah, because my brother would go shopping. My brother would go shopping with my mom, and he'd fall into that, and I'm like, just get me jeans and a t like, oh well, we have these Big John jeans, they're $50-$60 back then. I'm like, I'm good with the $10 Levi's. I don't care. Like,
I never got into it either, man.
I can't wear those, man. There's no way.
Just jeans and a t-shirt too. It was usually a music-based t-shirt of somewhere, either country or rock, but it was always, or Georgia or Braves, but it was always jeans and a t-shirt.
I did have Jet sneakers with the logos on them. I wasn't mad about that. I'll go that far. That's as far as I'll go. I'll get a jersey. I'll wear a jersey. I won't put another man's name on my back. I know that sounds weird. I'll put a number, but I don't put someone's name on my back. It's weird to me. I don't know why. I don't even care. But I do. Like, if I collect the jersey, then I want to buy the jersey with the player's name and have it signed. But otherwise, if I'm going to wear it, unless it's a collector's jersey, I won't wear one. Like,
It
I
doesn't
won't get
bother
a
me.
Jets name. Mine's like 19 Rhino.
Okay, yeah. No, that wouldn't bother me at all. Like, I would wear a Chipper Jones jersey. I don't have one, but I would wear it. It wouldn't bother me.
All right, I go
I don't
the
know
opposite end of that entirely, and I get it. Like a lot of that's like a Nick Cellini, Chris Domino thing. Our friends down the hall, and maybe it's like
It's a New York
Hudson
thing.
used to say it too.
It's like to me, it's always been this northeastern Italian thing.
Yeah, maybe
like,
it is.
Like they always are like, I ain't wearing another man's name on my back.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's a machismo thing.
Maybe it is.
Maybe that's where it goes. I don't want no man's name on my back.
Because when I
don't
see
belong to
somebody
him.
like in a Cowboys jersey that's like 22 and it like has like
Smith.
Smith.
Well, I guess it
not
wouldn't be
Smith.
Smith.
It'd
It would be Jones.
Like put it this way,
A different name.
If it said Joe Virgin River on the back of it, shoulder to shoulder, I'd be like, that is the dumbest looking thing I've ever seen. That is Emmitt Smith's jersey.
Yeah.
Joey.
I have a rule. I only wear players that are older than me.
Okay.
So, I love
see that a little
Tyrese
bit.
Halliburton, my favorite player in the NBA right now, but I'm not going to wear a Tyrese Halliburton jersey.
That changes.
Yeah.
Because suddenly you're older than all of them.
Then you just wear retros.
Well, I've only got a couple of those, and at a
because
certain
you
point,
got Ron Washington's, which I think is the coolest.
that's still my
Super
favorite
cool.
one.
And that's
but, like I have a Manu Ginobili Spurs jersey, but it's now gotten to the point where it's like 20 something years old. And at this point, I'm like, I can't, like, it looks old.
Yeah.
It looks
But that's
beaten
cool,
up.
right? I think it is.
I think it's cool.
Yes.
At the same time, I don't know. There's just a part of me that goes, I don't want to beat it up anymore.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. If you want to preserve it, I get it. But
You know what's worse than wearing a jersey, though? Somebody who wears like a T-shirt with the number and the name on the back. That drives me nuts.
Oh, the
Really?
T-shirt jersey?
I like
Yeah.
those.
I think those are fine for kids.
Yeah.
For kids,
I mean,
it's
They look a
fine.
little bit, again, I'm not
For
trying
an adult male
Yeah.
wearing like
a T-shirt jersey.
Listen,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm just so anti-New York Met, but the Mets fans, the stuff they wear, I'm like, you guys are just disgusting. I hate you all. Like, ugh, you're so dumb.
Like my wife has like a female fit Freddie Freeman like T-shirt little jersey.
I
right?
like girls.
And
I don't mind.
I'm not like that's totally cool. I think that's fine. When
Girls
it's
are sexy though. Men are like just disgusting. Their bellies hanging out of their T-shirts.
But when it's, let's say it's you and Aaron who go there and you're wearing the same T-shirt jersey, she's wearing the female version, you're wearing the male version, that looks bad on you.
Yeah.
As the dude.
Matching
Right.
looks weird.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me if people wear T-shirts. I
think it's more of a kid thing for me.
I mean, it's fine. I just think it's fine for
Kids
anybody.
thing, yeah.
I've only had one,
Sorry.
but it's a Hank Aaron. So, like,
Yeah, you wore it the other day.
it's Hank Aaron.
You wore it the other day.
Yeah.
Can't be like no to that.
Yeah, no, I just look, wear anything you want except these Zubas. Those things are terrible. Those things are god awful.
Unless you're Kimmer.
Unless you're Kimmer, and then
And you can wear it all you want.
Yeah, there's nothing
Desert
better.
Eagle in the waistband.
There's nothing better than seeing a fat Mets fan wearing a John Franco Mets jersey T-shirt and his belly's hanging out of the bottom.
You talk about
Disgusting
Frank from
animals.
Barstool.
Yeah, that poor dude.
Is that? Well, I've never seen anything he does, but it's Frank the Tiger, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He's lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah, he's getting healthier, I guess.
What's his shtick? Because I really
Being
don't
a
know.
sad, angry Mets fan.
Oh, that's that guy.
Yes.
Oh,
who's
got
constantly
it.
complaining about his
Got
team.
it.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So his shtick is just to complain to us. Okay, perfect.
And being large.
And you're right. And it was doing
Like
better.
if he was a regular dude, regular sized dude complaining the way, it doesn't work the same way.
No, you're right.
But if you're morbidly obese, it's more funny.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Morning Xtra, Xtra 1063. Kamala Harris has pitched communism before. It's not anything new to her. We actually have the audio evidence.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place.
See, let's just stop
And
her
if you
there.
then
Let's just stop her
Man,
there.
she just keeps going.
Okay. It just gets deeper and deeper. with
I
her.
get this. So what we're going to do is, because traditionally in the Olympics, black female, track stars are way dominant. So we can take a white person and move them all the way up, like probably
halfway.
about, like 50 yards out. You know, let them start 50 yards because, it's where you start. And then we can all finish at the same time. So even if we get to the end, you wait wait before you cross the finish line.
That way everybody goes
we're all
across the
going to
same.
go across the same time.
That's right.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah, you got it.
This is schoolhouse logic, and it's such BS because there is no such thing as fairness. All right? It's just how it is. And what the problem is that you will have these people that will constantly tell you, in order to create victimization, they will always tell you, you're a victim and here is why. And they'll tell you about what you didn't have, the leg up other people did. And again, a lot of it is the idea of it being fair and equitable and across the board is completely fiction. It's just not how it's going to be.
If there's a real social construct, it's fairness. That's a social construct. It's not real.
The idea of what these people end up striving for, and eventually what things become in some of these countries, like where you have it in Venezuela or China, you have it, in old USSR. Fair was that everybody had nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you'll like it.
That was how it was.
But that's what they want here. Let's be honest.
In North Korea, your housing is through the government. That's why you will see government officials on all the walls, because you have nothing and you own nothing.
But this is the idea and this is the plan. And, Biden's idea is, hey, we're going to build 500 million homes. We're going to build them at this price, and then we're going to own those homes, and you will never own that home. And then when we're tired of you, we'll kick you out and bring in people from across the border because they need the home more than you do. So you can go and do your own thing.
And they got a worse start than you did.
Yeah. Right now in California, they've wasted so much money on the homeless crisis that they've thrown into this thing saying, hey, if you give us $24 billion, we'll be able to find these homeless people homes, little homes. We're going to build 35 million new homes. That's what Gavin Newsom got voted in on. In 2017, he promised 3.5 million new homes, affordable homes. Guess how many they've built? None. I can't say none, but comparative to what he said, none. Now, all of a sudden, they're in debt again, and now they don't have the money. So what are they doing? They're sweeping the homeless encampments that they created there. This is the same idea of what they're going to continue to do, to say, we're going to make sure everybody starts off in a home. Well, you can't just do that. Everybody's got to work for what they earn. They want to take from everybody else and redistribute everybody else's wealth. The problem is, it's not going to be Bill Gates. It's going to be Tug Cowart. It's going to be Carlos. It's going to be me. It's going to be the people listening's wealth that they're redistributing.
She will sell you on communism and then just be like, what are you talking about? I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. No, that's all. That's just the right-wing media labeling me that.
I'm just speaking the language of communism all the time.
Right.
Unusual.
No, so weird.
GovTrack said you're the most liberal and socialist.
They got rid of it, so not anymore.
Not anymore. Look, I just told them not to tell you that.
Right. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3.
Just have to talk about her policy.
That's it. That's how you beat her.
3-4 months of it.
What policy?
Yeah,
well,
at least
you mean her social virtue signaling?
At least what she has used in order to obtain and maintain power, whether she believes in it or not. That is what you get to go ahead and point out. Be like, she has used these tactics and these sorts of phrases and this sorts of power in order to make sure that she keeps climbing socially. If you make her out to be a social climber and not have a backbone, which that's exactly who she is,
no doubt.
You'll be in good shape.
Yeah. Just keep that out. Keep that out front. That's what you have to do. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Friday, July 26th. The search for a missing 12-year-old girl from Hall County came to end after 57 days. Maria Gomez Perez was found safe in another state after she reportedly made contact with an unknown person who picked her up from her house in Gainesville on May 29th. The Hall County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Bureau located the girl, but no details were released about the location or the suspect. The possible kidnapping of a 13-year-old girl who was found at a Super 8 motel in College Park has led police to beginning an investigation into a potential human trafficking case. Police caught up with the man and the girl after they fled the hotel or motel and took them into custody. The girl's name was not released, but she was reported missing in South Fulton. In sports, the Atlanta Braves have racked up 5 straight losses as the Mets won their 4th straight game with a 3-2 win last night. The game took 10 innings, but the Mets' Jeff McNeil delivered a game-winning single in the bottom of the 10th to give the Mets the victory over the Braves. Game 2 tonight from the Big Apple. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for the Braves. First pitch scheduled for 7:10. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
When we come back on Extra 106.3, the majority of Americans, including Democrats, believe the same thing about Joe Biden. Next on Extra 106.3.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Oh, hey there. I'm glad you showed up. It's Los. Hey, let's talk about Howard Brothers and Echo Power Equipment. Let's say you're looking for powerful, eco-friendly tools, right? Well, discovered that that's what you can get from Howard Brothers and Echoes with their E-Force battery tool series. They will make your hard work outside easier, and that's really the goal, right? I mean, think about all this rain, all the growth you have. When you get out in the yard, you want it to be quick, you want it to be painless, and you want it to be efficient. Well, that's what you're going to get with Echo. Long-lasting battery life, less maintenance, exceptional performance. Echo E-Force tools are perfect for any job, big or small. Maybe you've got a yard like mine, small, or you've got a huge estate like Tug, big. Either way, E-Force can help you with that. Stop into your local Howard Brothers today and power up your lawn and that experience with Echo Power Equipment. Howard Brothers is your trusted source for all of your outdoor needs. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and with Howard Brothers.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road, and with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth has it for you. Like the 2024 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4, or the Subaru Forester, the SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where the adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com or come visit us today on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth. We're Subaru of Gwinnett.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
Tug, Rhino, and Losa on the Morning Extra until 10. Then the Glenn Beck program. Glenn will have Representative Brandon Williams from New York talking about the anti-Israel protesters burning American flags that were flying at Union Station, and then the group of House Republicans who went out there and replaced them. Of course, Williams led that charge. And then they'll also talk about the Secret Service is encouraging President Trump's campaign to stop doing outdoor rallies. Does that because they can't protect them, or they've chosen not to? They threw in the JV team. I'm trying to figure out why.
Because they can't protect them. They don't know what they're doing. They are incompetent at the top. They haven't made enough changes yet, and they won't be able to protect them. They know that. Plus, they might know that there's something else going on that we don't know about as well. Maybe there's an inside mole they need to figure out.
Man, there's something going on.
Who knows?
There's something going on.
I don't trust anything they tell me anymore. It's just really unfortunate in this country.
Well, good, you've learned.
Yeah, that's right. Finally.
Everybody has as well.
We all have. We all have gotten to that point where we're finally going, I don't think I trust these fools. The one thing I do trust is Rhino's taste buds.
Yes.
Mountain Dew's Baja Blast is turning 20 years old.
I just love having a blast.
Yes.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With vodka.
It's exactly right. That is where I was going with this. Like, when Rhino brought this up, I don't know, was it 6 months ago?
Oh, easy, yeah.
At least.
I mean, I've been doing it for years.
Yeah, I know.
Like 10 years almost. I don't even know.
For sure. I just remember us talking about it at least 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, there may be a trip this evening to Taco Bell just to get a Baja Blast.
Ooh.
Or my wife loves their Pepsi, so we may go with the Pepsi.
Instead of a charcuterie board, you bring her one of those big, large plastic cups full of mostly Baja Blast.
With a bow.
With
a bow. Telling you throw a bow on anything, makes everything special.
It's got to be a bow. That's right. Dude, I was just, as I saw that this morning, 20 years. I had no idea. I did the Baja
I knew it was at least
Mountain
10.
Dew Baja Blast was even around that long.
Yeah, I knew it was at least 10 because I remember some nights.
Yeah, you said you've been drinking them for 10 years with vodka in there.
Because I'd leave the restaurant late at night some nights, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to stop at Taco Bell. I didn't feel like making myself anything to eat in a restaurant that I'm at with all the food around. So drive to Taco Bell, grab my Baja Blast, take my few sips, pour some vodka in it.
Yeah.
Get back to, not in the car when I got home.
No, I knew
obviously.
what you meant.
Yeah, get home, pour a little vodka in it.
He just circumvents 285.
Yeah.
Just drives all the way around, just stops every now and then.
Yeah.
Just pour a little more vodka
in there.
the Baja Blast.
I took one more sip. I'll refill with vodka. The cup never is empty. It's empty of Baja Blast, but it's always refilled with vodka.
Oh, it's so great. Like, I mean, it's perfect for around the pool.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
like
So
just
good.
a nice big Taco Bell cup.
Yes.
You know, before there was ever the vodka Red Bull, there was that.
Yeah, dude.
There was the Mountain Dew, that would just little extra something to it.
Dude, I'm telling you, I the wisdom that was beaming out of Rhino that day, and I was just like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, he was like a shining city on the hill.
Seriously, I was like,
he's way ahead of all of y'all for years.
Right. This dude's got it figured out.
I call what I do, my brother and I, we call ourselves remixers. So we'll take food from McDonald's or anything else, and we'll remix it into something totally new.
Well, give me an example. Like you take some French fries, put some chili on top of them or something? What do you mean?
Yeah, okay. So, like, what I would do is, like, maybe I'll take the McDonald's fries. We get, like, 3 large fries, then we'll take them.
Damn, y'all love some fries.
Yeah, we'll put them on our metal plates. Well, I'll tell you why. Because then what we do is we take our cheesesteaks, and then we chop them all up, and then our mushrooms, our onions, and put everything on them, and then we put them on top of the fries on our metal plates, throw them back in the oven, melt it all together, and now you have a whole remix of McDonald's fries.
Holy cow.
I do, yeah, we do it with Egg McMuffins and stuff.
Well, tell me about
remix
that.
And, well, I mean, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Well, yeah, but give me just anything. Just tell me what you've done with the Egg McMuffin before, because I love
usually
an
that's
Egg
pretty
McMuffin.
easy. I mean, sometimes I'll make a hollandaise sauce and just put it over it, and then we'll just spread it apart, and then we'll make
Add
it
a little
more
something.
Yeah, we make it more like a Benedict. We'll add some more eggs. We'll add some more cheese. Yeah.
I know. At one time, I tried to put an Egg McMuffin and bake a cake around it, and it didn't work out.
No, that don't
Are you
work.
serious right now?
No.
That sounds insane.
You could.
You want to know insane foods?
Yes.
Tournament casserole.
Dude, for a second, I was like, I almost bought that.
It's like, did he actually put an Egg McMuffin in a cake?
What?
No, if you go to the Texas
wonderful.
State Fair, Texas State Fair is known for this. The amount of things that they will deep fry.
Oh, yeah, Snickers and
oh my
Oreos
God.
and all that.
Well, we're talking like
butter.
That is, yes.
Fried butter.
No, he's not wrong. Like, there are the most crazy food items, and every year somebody tries to take it up a notch. Where I remember one year when they came out with the deep fried Twinkies.
Yes.
Okay, like just crazy stuff that they'll try and make at Texas State Fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Barbecue iguana and things.
I was telling my friends this, and we were drinking one night while we were watching Miami, Ohio State for the national championship one night. And after the game, we were all a little drunk, and this infomercial came on, and I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit. They had this little machine that you deep fry Twinkies, and that's all they were doing. And then they deep fry butter, bananas. They were just deep frying everything, and everything came from like the Texas State Fair ideas.
Awesome.
I don't know who could eat deep fried butter. That just sounds disgusting to me.
I don't put butter
I could give
on
it a shot.
Joey, of course, board up Joey.
All right, so this was a year ago with the
Heart's
Texas
just
State
gonna
Fair.
seize.
I know,
He's
just like
24 though. He's got so much time.
oh God,
You could start at 30, like getting it right, and you could live through your 20s.
How many vaccines do you get?
0.
Okay. See, he's
Zero
all right.
COVID.
Yeah, he's all right.
he's them pure bloods. What's up?
Thank
okay,
God.
so here are the fried foods that they had at the State Fair last year.
Okay, here we go.
You had
Iguana.
deep fried alligator,
Alligator.
Okay,
That's
that's
my
fine.
mind.
That's
eggs
good.
nest, armadillo, bacon cinnamon roll, bacon mac and cheese egg rolls, deep fried banana pudding.
Yeah.
Deep fried bloomin' onion.
Okay.
Deep fried brisket egg rolls.
Yes.
Whoa, those are good.
Deep fried. I don't know if you can see that from there. Butter.
No,
You weren't lying. It's in there.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, this is the list, and it just keeps going. And again,
So
Texas State
crazy.
Fair, it's all about what crazy stuff you can deep fry.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on and on. Deep fried PB&J banana grape jelly.
Good.
Or deep fried sandwich.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Dude, I've got
You can deep fry anything.
Try.
Does that say Philly cheesesteak?
Deep fried pumpkin pie, deep fried peach cobbler, deep fried chili Philly cheesesteak, deep fried s'mores. I thought s'mores were already kind of their own thing.
Dude, you deep fry them, it'd be even better. I never bought into the deep fried thing, I'll be honest. We were down in Orlando for a baseball tournament when my son was about 9. And a friend of ours, Air Force grad, now a Delta pilot, just an awesome dude, Rob, said, I'm going to deep fry some Oreos for these kids. And I was like, oh, man, I've heard about this. This is going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be, just count me out. And he's like, just try one. So he went and deep fried them all. He brought a few out to the adults. And he's like, just try one. I was like, dude, I'm not going to, just try it. So I did. And I was like, it was the greatest moment of my life.
I know. I hate when that happens because I'm the same way. I don't really like deep fried foods a lot.
Oh, I do, but
then in my mind, don't eat it, and then I'm like, take a bite, and I'm like, dang it! Now this is why I don't like them because now I love them.
So yeah, it's not, you love them, you don't like them. I see where.
When I had the restaurant, I would, I'd take a calzone basically, and I'd fill it with French fries, eggs, cheesesteak, mushrooms, onions. I mean, I would just keep, and then and it would be about the size of your head, and then I would take the baskets out of the fryer and just drop that whole thing in there, fry it in the calzone 2 times, and flip it over, pull it out. Oh my God, that thing! It had to be about 20,000 calories.
I would think so. Yeah, it was pretty much heart attack straight out of the deep fryer, but probably pretty good.
Oh, it was amazing.
America that up, dude.
That's right. America that ass up, dude.
We are.
That's exactly right. Oh my God, you can tell it's Friday, man. We're just off the rails.
America that ass up, dude.
Giant crazy train. Good Lord, I love it.
That's how I know. Like we deep fried everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Thank you, America, and thank you, Jesus, for this
That's
deep
right.
fryer.
Yeah. Sweet Lord, baby Jesus.
It is one of those things, though, like in the restaurant business, like I had this guy, Chris, who I loved, and he was like my right-hand guy. I mean, if I ever needed a cook and he was the one to do it. But anytime during the slow time, everybody just kind of looks over at the fryer and goes, let's see what we can create.
Let's see what
Let's see what we can fry. Let's see what we can do. I mean, and you start easy with pickles and stuff like that. And then you advance and go, I wonder what this would taste like fried. Good.
I'm telling you, that entire Texas State Fair has become this circus. Over the last 20 years, it's become a circus of what can we deep fry and then serve to people.
Yeah.
God bless Texas with his own
it's so
hands.
amazing.
He brought down angels from the promised land, gave them a place that they could dance. If you want to see heaven, here's your chance. God blessed Texas.
See, he wrote that by himself.
Yeah, that was
really
beautiful,
good,
man.
Yeah, no wonder Go Redneck Poet is very concerned. Oh, and then you turned it into a song.
Yeah.
Wow, somebody did it.
Wow. That was quick. AI or what?
It was just, I was just before my time, that's all. Here we go. Let's get it. Here we go. In 3, 2,
here we go.
1.
God bless Texas.
And the band was Little Texas.
I will tell you, I did think about you a couple days ago. I was unloading groceries, and I randomly thought, this is like one of the silliest things I'm having to do. Like, it's raining. I kind of feel like a little silly about it. And then I thought, you know what's sillier than that? When Tug started to do the whole bop, bop.
Dude, Joe Bonzo died, man.
I was like, I'm standing in the rain doing groceries, and then I thought, you know what's sillier than this right now? Tug doing bop,
bop. Yeah, they just put out a new song with Joe Bonzo had died, but they got pictures and videos of him.
Okay,
in the new video.
They're gonna AI him in there.
I think they're just using the footage they already have.
I think they're gonna use him like kind of string him up a little bit, make
like
him
a puppet.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Like Joe Biden? No, I don't think they're gonna
play his instrument.
He didn't play anything.
Are we gonna get to the point now where Joe Biden is we're gonna have a State of the Union address and he's gonna come bounding up and down. He's on strings like a marionette.
Yeah, I hope so.
Put his hands down and just AI starts talking for him.
If there's anything good in the world, that'll happen.
That's how you got to keep him in office for another 5 months.
That's exactly. They're gonna have to do something. Good Lord, because Americans, by and large, think he is a threat to our country's security. 61% of Americans believe that Joe Biden's a threat to American security. 39% of Democrats believe it. And it's been that way for the last 3.5 years. Mainstream media lied for him, covered it up. Kamala knew it. Anyone with eyes that can see knew it. And now you can only imagine what our biggest adversaries, like the Chinese and the Russians and the North Koreans and the Iranians, are all thinking, man, maybe now is the time to do whatever it is we want to do. Had this been regular, normal times, getting buzzed by a Russian fighter pilot or a Chinese fighter pilot just on the edges of international waters or whatever, wouldn't have been that big a deal. You wouldn't have thought. But now it's like, wonder what we can get away with. Maybe we could send a balloon over top of their military installations. Maybe we could do that.
Maybe we can, let's say, float it all the way across the country.
The entirety. Let's start it from Alaska and go all the way to South Carolina. What do you think? Nobody's buying that. But that's the reason 61% of Americans believe, and 39% of Democrats believe Joe Biden is a threat to American security.
I think any Democrat is a threat, really, to American security. The fact that they all support open borders is scary enough, but the fact that they don't care what's flying over the country and then act like, there's no way we could shoot this down over Montana.
Yeah. What kind of dumb answer was that?
It might come down.
Montana.
What if it falls on somebody?
People were standing on, in Montana going, well, I'll shoot it down.
Seriously, that's exactly right.
Oh, no, it's too dangerous. No, we'll let it go all the way across our countries. Oh, and by the way, it's a weather balloon. No, it's not. And then we find that out. They are playing the games. And we have to think also about the threat to American security as not only that not only the balloons, but also, hey, I'm going to give $6 billion back to Iran for them to use for humanitarian reasons. Their humanitarian reason is to wipe out America and wipe out Israel. So that's a threat as well. We see what's going on with Ukraine. We're just continuing that on. We're funding that. That will come back to roost here, too. This is why people will not trust the Democrats. And I think that's a really important message. And that's why the Democrats right now are like, she's not the border czar. She had nothing to do with the border. Seriously.
Yes, she did. She was handed the keys. Now, they knew that she wasn't going to be able to handle it, and they were setting her up for failure.
They gave it to her to go, you ain't really going anywhere once you handle this.
Seriously, let me hand you an anchor and throw you in the ocean.
You know what's funny is it was almost like we were talked about it back then. This was Biden's way of kind of saying, hey, just go take care of that. I don't care. Like, let's put her on something that when she fails, it is what it is. It doesn't matter. And now it's really come back to haunt her.
As a guy that served in the Navy, y'all, there's no bigger slap in the face than we're going to fly a damn balloon over your entire country with surveillance and technology on board and watch you do nothing about it. That's the biggest slap in the face.
Yeah. What about the second balloon that they go, hey, at least this one we let only get over Alaska? Why is it even getting to Alaska? You're telling me you can't keep an eye out to where they're not supposed to be and shoot it down before it even gets to land?
And the fun part about it was the only reason they did that is because they took so much crap after the first one. They were like, well, we better shoot these things down sooner.
I know, right? So embarrassing. And our military's
the fact that the Chinese went, okay,
watch
we did the first one. Let's do another one.
You know, President
There's
Xi's like,
no way we could do it again, could we? I bet you I could.
Dude, like, he's sitting on the front porch with probably
like a drunken tailgate.
Yes, yes. Do you think we could get away with flying a balloon?
Do you see me jump over that table? Watch me do it again.
Do you think we could slingshot this satellite right over to Montana?
We did it once. Let's try it again.
We can do it.
Dude, like a bunch of drunk frat boys. I bet they won't allow it. There's no way they're going to allow this. And yet, we did.
It's awesome.
What a punch in the... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway. Morning Extra.
There are phones that we can track you on, too.
Yeah, for sure. The Secret Service keeps looking worse and worse. A whistleblower say they turned down an important piece of equipment that the would-be assassin actually used. Next on Extra 106.3.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
You're not going to believe what Kamala has just called for.
Oh, what now?
The enactment of gun confiscation laws, universal gun registration, and a ban on commonly owned firearms. Basically, everything that's unconstitutional. She wants a gun confiscation.
Oh, thank you. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Georgia, how about you conservatives who didn't want to vote for that damn Herschel Walker? How about voting for keeping your guns?
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to them, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Are you concerned about securing your family's future and assets? Look no further than Nelson Elder Care Law. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we offer absolute assurance and peace of mind through our comprehensive asset protection services. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to explore how we can safeguard your legacy and provide tailored solutions for your family's well-being.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Diamonds Direct Atlanta is now open. The nation's fastest growing jewelry store now is a location right here in Buckhead. Shopping for the perfect ring to pop the question? Or maybe an everyday diamond tennis bracelet? The experts at Diamonds Direct are sure to have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the occasion. With the lowest direct importer pricing, you can expect the best selection of certified diamonds at unmatched prices, all within a luxury showroom atmosphere that makes you feel right at home. Come see what other jewelers are trying to replicate. Diamonds Direct's unbeatable after-the-sale guarantees and warranties are the best you can find. Free cleanings, sizing, polishing, accent diamond replacement for the lifetime of your purchase. If that's not enough, they also offer a 110% upgrade policy for you to use as often as you'd like on your diamond engagement ring, pendant, or studs. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, come see how Diamonds Direct is reinvigorating the jewelry industry at their brand new Buckhead showroom. When you want to have complete confidence in your jewelry buying experience, shop with the experts at Diamonds Direct. Now open on the corner of Maple Drive Northeast and Peachtree.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is always streaming live across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. Get the live stream and your favorite Extra podcast anywhere you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10, then Beck, Clay, and Buck noon until 3, and the local afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. You can get them from 3 until 6. This is Extra 106.3. I think the Secret Service continues to look worse and worse and worse. It's like, in the beginning, I thought maybe there was just some, failures, incompetence at the top. But it seems now that intern Andrew and Board Op Goey Virgin River were probably more right than anybody else because they were the first people. They're like, somebody did something on the inside.
They were 72 hours after that Monday going, there's something really wrong here.
And I know we didn't want to jump the gun. Like, we wanted to make sure that it's the last thing you want to do is start rumors or whatever. But the more you look at it, the more you go, something was going on. There's no way that something wasn't going on. I don't know what that is. Something was going on. The news keeps getting worse. Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri, said a whistleblower came forth and said the night before the rally, the U.S. Secret Service repeatedly denied offers from a local law enforcement partner to utilize drone technology to secure the rally. Why would they do that? And that was one of the first questions we all had was, we're not flying drones? Wait, what? And we know that JV team was understaffed to begin with, and this looks more fishy by the day because the reports that are out there now is the would-be assassin, he used drones like days before scoping everything out.
The very first moment we had a response from the United States Secret Service, they pinned it on local law enforcement and said they were in charge of securing these areas. And the problem was law enforcement goes, they didn't tell us to do anything other than check cars. So you're wondering, and now you find this out, hey, we wanted to use drone technology, and they wouldn't allow it. It almost feels like, and it's speculative, but it feels like they pretty much said, let's go as bare bones as possible, and if something happens, maybe something happens.
That's what it feels like.
Boy, it feels worse than that to me. I mean, but again, I want to just believe what I saw is what I saw. You know, a failure of the Secret Service, that this wasn't what it was. But
and by the way,
this is
Rhino,
why it opens up these conspiracy ideas and theories, is because they will not be transparent with it.
We also got this last week. Remember, the denial that you had the Trump team ask for additional security a multitude of times. We don't know how many because they wouldn't say. But after several, they realized this wasn't happening. So they were asking for more security, didn't get it, and then had all the scenario.
Yeah, and then you go back and listen as Benny Thompson says, well, we need to lower, actually, the Secret Service, and he shouldn't even really have Secret Service. So what am I? This is a man who went after him for J6. This is a man who lied during J6 select committees, and now he's saying he didn't want him to have Secret Service, and then something like this happens with really bad Secret Service and really not well trained, apparently. So, yeah, these are why we have all these questions, and they're not going to be transparent about it, even with Christopher Wray. I thought he did an okay job kind of explaining that we are part of the investigation. We're not going to be political. But then again, he throws out a statement the other day going, not sure if it's shrapnel or glass. Well, I'll tell you right now, everybody's seen every video. What glass?
Yeah,
what glass? What shrapnel? It's a complete lie. It wouldn't turn that way. And he knows that. So you are political. And once again, you show that you are. You play all these games. I don't trust any of them. And it just keeps getting worse and worse for me, to the point where I don't blame him for... I don't blame him for being quiet about how bad the Secret Service has handled this. I think he's being very respectful to them.
In reserve, yeah.
But now I think hands off. I mean, he went back at Chris Wray for saying the BS that he did.
Well, as of 2 days ago, you have the scenario where, because we've had closed door investigations with, basically with the Senate, and you've had them talking to the FBI. And Josh Hawley went to Fox News and flat out said, a day after all this happened again, 2 days ago, flat out said the reason why they were given that there was not law enforcement on the roof, Secret Service or otherwise, is because it was too hot.
Yeah, and too sloped. Don't forget that.
That's what they told. Remember, we were told it was too sloped, it was dangerous.
Right.
But then when they got them in a closed door meeting, they said, well, it was too hot.
Too hot.
But I want to go back and
we'll dress them in all black anyway.
On what y'all said, because you brought up J6, which is a good point. And Lowe's talks about the fact that it's almost like they used just the bare bones, and if something happens, it kind of happens. And I think there's something to that.
Yeah, I do too.
But on top of that, does it not harken back a little bit when Nancy Pelosi ignored Trump's offer for National Guard on January 6th? Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, there seems to be just the faintest hint of a pattern.
They set that up.
Well, feels like
why would they?
I feel like they're inviting chaos because they know that it destabilizes and it's useful to them.
The reality of it is they set everything the way they want it to be. Fonnie Willis down here took a little bit from Nancy Pelosi and said, we got to make it seem like it's going to be way worse than it is, put up all the fences, do that. They were better prepared for that than they were J6. Yeah, they were better prepared for the domestic terrorists, pro-Hamas supporters, basically terrorists. They were more prepared for their little insurrection this past week than they were for J6. They turned down everything. And again, I thought they did a bad job. They should have called in more for, J24th, because J24th was way worse to me. It was disgusting what I saw every single day. And the fact that I don't feel safe as a Jewish American anymore, and what's going on here in this state right now with representatives who sat and called for the genocide of Jews, and then another state Democrat said, hey, this is disgusting, don't do this, and then they tell him to kill himself. Well, that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that on the After Show, by the way, if you want to tune in later. But this is where our country's going. We're out of control. Out of control. We can't trust anybody to keep us safe, even the FBI.
8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts, 770-GET-HEAT. CentralHeat.com is their website. When we come back after the Fox News update and Neil Bort's report, the fraudulent attacks on Elon Musk by the Democrats is just part of the plan. Next on Extra 106.3, download the app so you can listen live and on demand to great conservative discussion throughout the day. And you can also stream us on the Extra 106.3 YouTube page. You can listen at 106.3 FM, extra1063.com, 12:30 a.m. So many ways to be engaged here. And of course, if you want to engage with us on social media, you can do that at Extra 106.3 across all the social media platforms.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
There's a lot of bad news out there today, learning that not only is the Secret Service gunched up with DEI and wokeism, but so is the FBI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI at the FBI, is a big thing now, too. So much so that local police agencies, less woke, have decided not to share information with the FBI in most cases because they're unsure how it will be used. But the most distressing news today, next week, parents who otherwise believe themselves to be good moms and good dads are taking their children and sending them off to the government to be educated. The government that they know doesn't do anything well. The same government that couldn't keep a sniper off of a rooftop at a presidential rally because the slope was too great. The same government schools that Kamala Harris wants to force all children to attend by eliminating school choice. I wonder, and maybe some of you can help me here, are these schools still pulling the same stunt at the beginning of the year? I've talked about it before. The kids go off and they get their school supplies. They have a list. They're very proud of these school supplies. It's their stuff. But when they get to school, in many cases, not all, the teacher says, okay, bring your pencils up here, put them in this box, your tablets in that box, your white glue in that box. Okay, now, kids, whenever you need something, just go to the box and get what you need. In other words, all these school supplies become everybody's possessions. Private property, not here. We have to share. Just take what you need. What a wonderful lesson for these kids to start out their lives. Let me know, folks, if the teachers are still doing this. What a mess. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3. Have a great weekend.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Remember the TV show House of Cards?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The one where Kevin Spacey starred in until these sex allegations came out and he had to step aside. Yeah. There's now a campaign ad showing his face as the political character Frank Underwood. He's running for president. It says, now is my time, and it uses his initials, Frank Underwood, initials, 2024. FU 2024.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Our 44th president wants Kamala Harris to be our 47th.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Former President Obama and ex-First Lady Michelle endorsed the vice president in the call.
Harris has quickly amassed the endorsements of nearly every major Democratic player since President Biden dropped out of the race on Sunday. She has also secured the pledges of a majority of Democratic delegates and has raised more than $100 million in campaign cash.
Fox's Jared Halpern of the White House. New polls out show a closer race. The last New York Times Siena survey in the Trump-Biden race gave the former president a 6-point lead. He now only leads the vice president in a new one by 1 point.
And I'll tell you, I'm ready to debate Donald Trump. I have agreed to the previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling.
The Trump campaign says it'll work out debates after Democrats have an official nominee. The vice president also says after a meeting with Israel's prime minister,
it is time for this war to end, and end in a way where Israel is secure, all the hostages are released.
Adding she will not stay silent on the suffering of Palestinian civilians in Gaza. Today, Prime Minister Netanyahu is in Florida to meet with former President Trump. Hours before the Paris Olympics opening ceremony, some people are having a hard time getting there after train service was disrupted in France.
Authorities saying overnight there were multiple coordinated malicious attacks on the country's iconic high-speed train lines. The acts of arson were described as sabotage, criminal, aimed at destabilizing the games.
Fox's Greg Palcott. We just got an inflation update showing a slight rise last month from May, but the annual rate of inflation increase declined from 2.6% to 2.5% in a gauge called personal consumption expenditures. The Federal Reserve closely watches deciding when to cut interest rates. America's listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
The news and talk I can trust. Extra 1063.
Attaboy. Start the bonus hour with some Dwight Yoakam. On a Friday? Yes, sir, I will. Glad that you're here with us on the Morning Extra and Extra 1063. Tug, Rhino, and Los. Talking about the things that nobody else talks about. The things that the mainstream media avoid. The things that the mainstream media will tell you don't exist. That nothing to see here. And you shouldn't even be talking about it. How could you even do this? It's not proper. They look down their nose at you. What is it called? What is the shame thing? What is that when they... How do you describe that? When you say shame? You know what I'm saying? Have you never seen that?
I call it a tisk tisk.
Tisk tisk, I guess, yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know there was a name. I just shame.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Shame.
Where you rub one finger across the other.
I know one.
Oh, I don't know if there's a name.
Shame.
Shame.
Shame. Shame. That's the only one that matters to me.
Yeah.
It's the only one that works. You know what we're referring to? Because that might be in your...
Don't.
Okay.
Right now.
So in when you go through... okay, so it's a long, drawn-out thing here,
Okay.
but I'm just going to say this. That when you go through, like, the history of television, maybe that image of seeing that on HBO and seeing a very powerful naked lady walk through the streets in Game of Thrones with somebody behind her, they're all going, shame.
Oh, okay, got it.
Shame.
Got it.
And how the whole story arc ends up ending with her walking away going, shame. Shame. As she
Like
gets
the
her
final
revenge.
episode? Yeah. Oh,
man.
got it.
Like, it just sticks out in your mind.
My
The world's
wife
worst
loved that show.
final.
What is it?
They say that's the worst finale of all time.
Seinfeld's up there, too, though, right?
Yeah.
One of the worst finales of all time.
It's the challenge of Game of Thrones is it's not even finished being written.
Right, exactly. Because the dude that he's still writing the additional books. Right. Yeah.
Erin, a girlfriend was showing me a funny meme where, like, I don't remember who the artist, but it was like Michelangelo drew the back of a horse, and it gets all the way to the point where, like, a third grader drew, like, just like the front end of a horse. That's how they finished it. Started off like a masterpiece, and then ended up with a child's writing in crayon.
It's not as bad as people say.
I know,
like, the decisions that they made were fine.
It's hard to wrap up something so epic.
Yeah, and they wrapped it up really quick. And when you make rules in a world or in a TV show and you break those rules, it's really frustrating.
I think Ted Lasso was that way too. The very last episode was super.
Also had Hannah Waddingham, who did The Shame.
That's true. Same guy?
Same girl. The tall, blonde lady.
Yeah. The one that owns the team?
Is the one that did Shame.
Really?
Shame. Yeah,
Wow.
If I remember correctly, she's basically playing like one of the religious zealots, and she is. I have to just show you. It's iconic in how it happens.
I vaguely remember it now that you're bringing it up because Laura watched it. I remember watching her watch it. I was like, oh my god, and then walked out of the room.
Some nudie stuff.
Yeah, there was plenty.
I'm out of here. I don't want to see a woman naked.
There was so much nudity in that show.
No doubt. Holy cow. But just the stuff is funny because what brought me in is that the things that you're not supposed to talk about. In that, I guess. These days it's probably not as much. But I remember when I was growing up, and movies had scenes like that. It was just once, and it was quick, and it was over. Man, those days are done, dude. It's like softcore porn in TV shows these days. It's so weird and different. That
it is. They don't leave anything to the imagination anymore, which is very upsetting to me.
Yeah,
you're a weird dude if you're getting turned on by that scene, though.
Well, I mean, not that one in particular.
I
I'm just saying in general. It just seems like that's what TV is.
Yeah, that's not a real sexy scene.
Yeah. What was? Yeah. Again, I don't remember. Are you looking at it now, Lowe's?
Don't worry, Carlos will show it to you in a minute. Carlos will do anything to make you feel a little uncomfortable at work.
Good Lord.
There you go. Marching her through the streets with right behind. Shame.
Oh, my.
Shame. They marched her all the way through the streets naked with that woman saying shame. And by the way, they had to she was pregnant at the time, so they had to digitally alter her body.
Got it. How about that? And this is the woman that owned the team in Ted Lasso?
The one behind her.
Oh, the one behind her. Got it.
This one over here.
Okay,
right.
got it.
Yeah, not that one.
Okay. All right. As we're looking at the scene, that was unbelievable. Good Lord. Yeah. What a TV show. I've never been into it.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, I know.
What about House of Dragons? Has anybody started that?
Oh, it's amazing.
And that's the continuation of this?
No, it's like a
1,000 years before.
Okay,
right.
I got it.
It's how the Dragon Lady became a Dragon Lady.
Oh, okay, well then there you go. It's the Dragon
It's
Lady.
the history of the Dragon Lady's family.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Like, I just, anything with dragons, I'm out. I just
Really? You don't like dragons? I like dragons. I want a dragon.
You know who's like this? So our friend who works over on our sister station, Matt Chernoff, I've never been able to get him to watch Braveheart, Gladiator. It took forever to get him into Game of Thrones because he had this hard and fast rule.
Well, he's not a man.
Well, I know that's true. He's kind of a lady man.
Weak.
But still, his hard and fast rule was if there were like swords or dragons or anything else like that, he had no interest in it.
So it's just the dragon thing is just too much. I'm just not like.
But imagine not watching Braveheart because you're like, oh look, there's swords and they're fighting with swords.
Yeah. Oh, I bet he watched Brave. He's like a Disney freak. He watches all those.
Yeah, he's seen all those. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he's seen all those.
Cartoon characters with swords.
To this day, I've told him Gladiator is one of like the great epic dude movies, like a wonderful revenge film.
Yeah.
And he's never watched it because he's like, I don't even. Why would I watch like dudes swinging swords at each other?
Yeah, but what about Moana? That's a real movie.
Don't you crap on Moana?
I've never seen that one.
He gets so mad.
Do you like that one? Do you watch that one too?
Oh, I thought Moana was great. That was in the wheelhouse of my daughters. So when I joked around about how one time I had to sail my boat into the ocean to save the heart of Te Fiti, to save my land, and you were like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "It's Moana."
Yeah, exactly. Gladiator 2 is coming out.
Yeah,
in November.
And actually, looks kind of cool. Like legitimate cast, legitimate amount of money being spent on it.
In it. Yeah. I don't know anybody else. I don't recognize
Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but
Joseph Quinn.
Yep.
Yeah,
Joseph Quinn.
You've got some dudes in there.
Joseph Quinn, who's going to play the Human Torch in Fantastic Four.
See, I don't know any of these people. I know Denzel. That's it.
But put it this way: they're spending a crazy ton of money, which that was the original Gladiator because of all the CGI work. That was always the question of if you ever tried to remake it, you have to do it on the same scale. And this is being done on the same scale.
Okay. All right, dude, I'm willing to, because I loved Gladiator. It's freaking amazing.
And it's been 20 years.
Yes, absolutely, dude. But this may be one like, I don't know, Top Gun 2 Maverick that, that they could actually make it work because so many of these, that they bring back just don't work. And it's cool. I was just reading that they're filming this Europe, Africa, Morocco, Malta, and then the UK. I've been to Malta, dude. That place is unbelievable.
I'm telling you, their budget is huge.
See them filming there because that place is that tiny little island is unbelievable.
And Ridley Scott is back for this.
Okay, yeah.
So when you get the original director and obviously a continuation of that vision, you got a chance.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, man. Well, that's cool. I do look forward to that. I can't wait to see that. The Dragon Show and Game of Thrones.
You don't like Lord of the Rings?
No.
Oh my God, I hated that movie.
I have no interest.
I didn't care for it when I first saw it.
I liked the books.
I like the books. Okay,
I really enjoyed the books.
I didn't care for the movies either.
I went and saw the first one, and I fell asleep about halfway through it, and I never went back.
I never read the books, and I kind of thought that about the first movie. It took, maybe because I was such a Star Wars guy or something, but it took a while to recognize Peter Jackson's work. There is, especially when you watch like the director's extended cut, which like every movie's in like 3 hours. It's genius level stuff. Like it looks amazing.
Yeah,
it holds up.
Yeah,
like it looks better than pretty much every movie that comes out now
because of where they shot it
20 years ago.
There's just not a whole lot of. I mean, there's CGI in it, etc.
New Zealand, right?
Yeah, they did so much of like on scene stuff where they were able to use the natural look of the area, and that for some reason has made it stand up.
I love it, man. I read the books like Rhino. I read those in 8th grade, and we read the whole trilogy, I believe, in 8th grade. And so yeah, it's terrific, and that's another one. What are you saying over there?
Why are you gay?
See, your 8th grade was a cool experience.
Yeah, because I read the book.
I just read The Hobbit.
Yeah. Okay.
Which those movies suck.
You can play it for yourself too, by the way.
Yeah. No, we read The Hobbit.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, in 8th grade, I read The
Hobbit was required reading.
Yeah,
for us.
It was. Yeah,
we did it.
That was terrific, man. I remember buying Jacob a bunch of those books too, and he never read them at all.
Did you ever read any book in school that was kind of scarring to you?
No, but I do really remember reading Of Mice and Men, and love the book, and I do remember just how.
So would I refer to somebody as like a Lenny? Like that hits you the right way?
Absolutely, man, because I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
That's a good one. I don't remember the name. I've got to look it up. There was some book where this was like early, like 7th or 8th grade, and I had to read this book where it was these two school friends, and one of them was extremely talented. And by the end of the book, they like fall out of a tree, get hurt somehow.
Oh my gosh, I remember that too.
Right. It was like so scarring to me that I was reading about how some guy got paralyzed as like this tremendous young athlete.
Yeah.
And it was basically a book on how only the really good die young.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is really tragic for like 7th grade.
If you know what that book is, because it's on the tip of my tongue.
I got to look it up.
So good. If you know it, 404-741-1230, or if you can find us on social media.
We're out of Party Gras tickets, I think. We'll give you something different, like a T-shirt.
We'll find something for you, for sure. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3.
Was it called Monkey Tag?
No.
We all like, that ain't it.
Wow. Monkey
what is he looking into?
Seriously, man, I don't know what you're looking at over there.
Yeah,
I heard of monkey pox.
Yeah. 9 o'clock hour brought
He's
to
all
you
like,
by
it's called Monkey Tag.
by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution. Over 2 decades, 200,000 jobs. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co is the number. Elon Musk, he is the target, man. The left hates Elon Musk, and we all know why. It's because they took Twitter away from them, and it meant so much to them. But then they came back, the left comes back and says he's donating $45 million a month to get Donald Trump elected.
Donald Trump.
When I heard that, I was like, what? I didn't buy it from the get-go, so I never paid much attention to it. But sure enough, that's where the left has decided to attack him.
They can't help themselves but to turn on their own, and that's exactly who Elon Musk is. Now, Elon Musk has kind of said, you know what, I'm tired of that party. That party actually left Elon Musk, and now he's kind of saying, hey, I'm kind of party to the common sense, and that's where the Republican Party has gone at this point. No, he's not giving $45 million every month to Donald Trump, although he should. He's giving it to his America First PAC, basically, is what this is. This is a PAC that thinks we should take care of America before we should anybody else. We think that we should have the ability for free speech. These are common sense issues that his PAC supports. Now, will his PAC support Donald Trump? Absolutely, 100%. Because, again, from his mouth, I want to be with the more common sense party right now, and that seems to be, and freedom of speech, and that seems to be the Republican Party.
Yeah, it's so easy to understand why. And then when you learn about the whole transitioned son, and he said, I am going to put out the woke mind virus.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend every...
He's living it.
He's absolutely living it. Dude, can you imagine just losing a child that way? I mean, essentially, and the relationship's obviously gone.
Oh, yeah.
I can completely understand why Elon Musk has made the changes in thinking that he has.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the guy's been quiet. He's been doing his own thing. He's been on their side. He really is revolutionary in the way we've been handling EV, but he even understood, okay, hold on one second. We can't take this all the way. We still have to be able to talk about this. But one of the things that he cares about more than anything else is meritocracy. That's so important to grow people.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we talked about the lady earlier.
Yeah.
That the one that's going to be Beverly Williams that was sentenced to nearly 3 years, or a little over 3 years, in prison for praying in front of a abortion clinic. She talked about that too. She talked about the meritocracy. She said, this woman's not qualified, but because she's the same skin color as you, they're going to convince you that you should vote for her because she looks like you, not because she's qualified to do it. And she said, that should be a slap in the face.
Yeah.
You should be appalled by that, not encouraged by it.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the America PAC, and that's what his is, I love this statement, by the way, because he did talk about Republicans are mostly, but not entirely, on the side of merit and freedom. The values of the PAC, and he's a part of the PAC and started the PAC, is meritocracy and individual freedom. He goes on to say its core principles, this America PAC are, the intent is to promote the principles that made America great in the first place. I wouldn't say, for example, MAGA or Make America Great Again. I think America is great. I'm more for MAG, Make America Greater. So, he is kind of playing the game of, I'm still going to drive the left really crazy by making these comments, but the left is so upset that he's willing to donate money to, a Republican. And they're like, oh, this is illegal and this. And he's like, you guys have been doing this with George Soros and every other Democrat donor forever. Stop. We're playing the same game you are. That's all.
But when it comes to the bare bones essential, any free society requires free speech. And Elon Musk, recognized as a South African by birth, as a man who's made his wealth here, and obviously technology and all the influence he's had on society, that free speech was going away and it was worth it to him to try and put it back in.
God bless him.
That's the cool part about all this stuff.
And that's why the left hates him.
And that's why they can't stand it.
They despise
because they started to have a monopoly on speech in this country.
And there's nothing more than they love than being to shut somebody down.
We got to the point. Well, we got to the point for the better part of 2020, almost through 2022, where if you said the wrong word on Twitter, you were catching a strike. Rhino knows this from having stuff demonetized or removed from YouTube. The idea of any free society is that free speech is a foundational element so that you can complain about your government or sing the praises of your government.
Yeah.
And not get punished. Not be punished, but that's the thing. The left, they want to make sure that they have the thumb on you. That way, if you get out of line and go pray at an abortion clinic, you're catching a case.
Pray at an abortion clinic, Think about what we've had in the last 24 hours. You can't say that Kamala Harris was the border czar.
Right,
Like
yeah.
these people depend on this attack on free speech. They depend on calling everything misinformation and disinformation. Elon Musk just cleared the deck and basically said, all right, no more of this stuff.
Yeah, and that's it. And they hate him for it. I mean, here is the first Vanity Fair, okay? When they got caught because they tried to throw out there, he's giving $45 million a month to Donald Trump. Now they had to fix it to the super PAC that he co-founded. And then they go, but in an interview with weirdo right-wing influencer Jordan Peterson on Tuesday, I mean, these are these people. They have lost their mind. It's all full of them. Weirdo right-wing influencer Jordan Peterson. Like, it's just sick what they do, and they're all scared, and they're all it is boring. It's over
and predictable.
Predictable. No, but that's what they need, the emotion, right, Los? I mean, we got to make them all hate them. This is the rhetoric that has caused the political division we see today.
Well, all this is tribal.
It's tribal.
And that's the part that's frustrating, because I can look at somebody who has different opinions from me and go, all right, let's tell me about him. Now, I may not agree with them, but I'm going to be like, oh, it's a regular person, and let's have this discussion. They start out with the premise of, well, there's something wrong with you, and you're this, and so anything that comes out of your mouth, I'm in deflection mode. That's not everybody, but there is a good amount of people that is the tribal nature of this stuff. It's frustrating.
Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. When we come back, we'll hit the headlines and the sugar high that never happened for Kamala Harris when they finally ditched Joe Biden. On Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Extra 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, Extra is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3 FM, and listen across Georgia on the Extra app.
The Braves are making back to school a little bit brighter this August with 10 days of amazing giveaways. There's a gate giveaway every day of the first homestand when the Miami Marlins and Milwaukee Brewers come to town, August 1st through the 8th. Like the Ronald Acuna Jr. 41 home runs bobblehead presented by Napa, kids batting gloves, Outcast bobblehead, Spencer Strider vinyl record giveaway and post-game band performances, and many more.
And that's drilled high in the air to deep right field. Marsh gonna go to the wall. We have liftoff. A 3-run home run by Kelnick.
And then come on back for even more giveaways, August 20th through the 25th, as the Braves battle the Phillies and the Nats, including the Chick-fil-A cow bobblehead, Ozzy Albies and his dog Poochie bobblehead presented by NextGuard, and the kids' authentic City Connect socks. Visit Braves.com/promos to see all of the giveaways and to purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves Baseball, we are Braves Country.
When it comes to protecting your assets and ensuring peace of mind, trust the expertise of Nelson Eldercare Law. Our Absolute Protection Trust is designed to provide unparalleled asset protection. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to discover how our specialized services can safeguard your family's future and assets, offering you the assurance you deserve. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve, but one who genuinely cares about each player.
You have what it takes. We got this.
Can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
It's that time of year again when the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck, brings back the 4th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want to help give back to the community, all you have to do is sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make the 4th annual Christmas in July for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Central services all makes and models. With Central Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. So call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to sign up for a maintenance agreement and help Chuck and Central Heating and Air give back to the community. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
This is Tucker Carlson. You're listening to Atlanta's only conservative talk station, Extra 106.3. Worldwide on the Extra app.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. You can't choose this song. I wasn't going to talk about this.
What?
But
Talk about what?
Joe.
Come on.
You can't play the Rolling Stones today.
Yes, you can.
No.
I can play them whenever I want.
No, you can't. You're going to ruin Kimmer's entire show this afternoon.
Yes, Kimmer.
Are we going to do a Kimmer segment?
Let's do it.
No, I was trying to avoid it.
I know.
Stupid Joe.
Sorry, Joe.
Come on, let's do this date in history. Who was born today, birthday day?
Freaking Mick Jagger's birthday.
Jagger.
81 today.
Okay.
I mean, this is taking away from the afternoon show.
I love this song.
Me too. So good.
Such a great song.
Painted Black, they played at Georgia games. So awesome. Dude, is there anybody cooler than Mick Jagger? Dude has still got it.
Maybe Keith Richards.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. No, I don't think Keith is as cool.
I've told you the story that when they talked about their long-term relationship. So there's a Better Than Ezra album that has the exact same name as Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. When Keith Richards was asked, how have you guys managed to be creative for this long and work together for this long? How have y'all done it for this long? And he had 2 words. He says, friction, baby. It's like they go at each other.
Yeah.
And that then creates their creativity.
Yeah.
It's, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing. And that friction has then created all sorts of creativity from.
Dude, that's amazing.
So I thought that was a really cool story.
It's kind of like radio shows and TV shows when people work together. Look, country bands, Brooks and Dunn, same way, man. But sometimes it drives too much friction. It has to be the right amount, man. It has to be the right dose.
So I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had a guest in, and they started talking about, and I totally forgot about this. I forgot that Joe Rogan was part of news radio.
The TV show?
Yeah, that was great.
TV show.
I don't think I knew that.
He played a small side part on this with Andy Dick.
Yeah,
and
wasn't he a
Bill
janitor?
Hartman. Yeah, he was. And so they talked about the comics that were on there.
Yeah.
And they basically talked about how the one guy who, basically played the GM of the company, he was, I'm trying to remember his name from Kids in the Hall, but they talked about how he would basically rewrite everything, and all the comics respected him because he had the history of being from Kids in the Hall, the Canadian TV show, HBO, and that the level of creativity where maybe one person might get upset and then recognize, no, this dude's right.
Yeah.
And then they'd film it and record it and they'd be like, no, this dude knows what he's doing.
Joe says Dave Foley.
Dave Foley,
yes.
from Kids in the Hall.
I love Dave Foley.
Yeah, they said basically he was like an unofficial executive producer on that show, and I got to go back and at some point watch some of that. They said that basically every character was playing themselves. They're like, Andy Dick is basically Andy Dick on steroids.
Oh,
it's like anything as weird as he was on the show, they're like, Andy's weird like that all the time.
Yeah, man, he's too weird for me though. Andy Dick's too weird for me. Yeah, I can't get down. I'm even his stand up, his sketch, any of that stuff. I'm always like, I don't really get it. Like I can't. I've a hard time following him. And
too much for me.
Yeah,
that was a great show.
There's your cast. I love News Radio
for sure. Is Rogan in that picture?
Yeah.
Is that him right there to the left? Top left. How
That's
about
when
that?
he had hair and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know.
It's 30 years ago. You know.
Yeah.
I think he was like the maintenance guy for the station, or like a bad
maintenance guy.
engineer.
He was comic relief as part of that. It's just as he said, he goes, I'm just playing me.
What year
Really
was that?
funny.
I remember News Radio. I never watched it.
Gotta
but
be late 80s.
Is that
Oh,
right?
no, I think, let's see.
Or was it
I wanna
90s?
Take a look. Yeah, no, I remember being a 90s show.
95 to 99.
No
Yeah,
way.
there
Was
you
that
go.
late?
Yeah.
God, I'm so wow.
Because remember, Phil Hartman's still alive at this point.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind.
You know?
I was trying to remember who else big names in there. Phil
Dave
Hartman,
Foley
yeah.
was big at that time because of Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, Dave Foley, and of course, Joe Rogan.
Stephen
Andy Dick.
Root.
Stephen Root.
Who's amazing in Office Space.
Yeah, and Stephen Root, he's obviously trying to find his stapler, but like he plays like fun characters like that.
Got it.
Oh, I forgot he was
John Lovitz.
John Lovitz is a genius.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
Dude,
in that
I
too.
love John Lovitz.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Tell me, who is that?
A guy who talks like this.
He talks like this. He's always the if you're a man, you'll get this.
Okay, all right, yeah. I have to go back and look at his picture, but I certainly recognize
You
that.
recognize him. That's Patrick Warburton.
Oh, yes.
He always
Didn't
does
do
those
some recent
characters.
commercials?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for a big company, too.
Well, he'll do like for Hertz or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
one of the
maybe
car
it's Hertz. I
companies.
guess
Like
that's
if
what I'm
you want to
thinking.
travel like a man.
That's what I was
One of the
thinking
best side characters in Seinfeld.
Oh,
Played,
yeah, he was.
Elaine's boyfriend.
Yep.
Who
And
did the face paint for the Devils game. Saw a priest. Go Devils.
Dude, and I was so late to Seinfeld, like everything else on TV. I just never watched TV and movies. The first episode of Seinfeld I ever saw was the final episode. I mean, with my buddies in the Navy, where everybody was lined up, ready to watch it, and I was like, what are we watching again? Like usual. And I remember thinking at the end of it, I was like, well, this isn't all that good. Is this a bunch of flashbacks to, what was... And now, going back and watched all of Seinfeld, it wasn't... I don't know about what y'all think, but it wasn't until about season 3 where it really kicked in. The first 2 I just thought were okay. Season 3 is when things really took off. Do y'all with that or no?
It kicked off
Okay.
in the Chinese restaurant episode.
Now, if you were to watch like season 1,
which is where I started originally.
You'll watch season 1 and you'll go, I don't get it.
I don't get it,
The
right.
same thing goes, and this is how it's so different now. Because if season 1 doesn't hit for any show, you typically don't get a season
That's
2.
right.
Go watch season 1 of Cheers and realize how unfunny that is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They had it on Netflix. I tried to do a few of them. I was like, it's not funny.
It's funny because I got hooked on Breaking Bad pretty quick, but it took 3 or 4 episodes. But I went back and watched it, and I'm like, I'm surprised I stayed in because it really did take
It's slow to
time
start.
to slow.
Yeah,
it was very.
it's a slow burn because they're trying. I get it. They're trying to take the nice school teacher who's always followed the rules in his life and slowly push him into this world of crime. Like it can't be just like second
Yeah, it
episode
just
he's
can't
making
happen.
meth.
Yeah.
So I got that. But man, when you watch like Cheers, by like episode 7 or 8, you're like, is this thing gonna go anywhere?
Yeah.
And it really isn't until basically second to mid third season where you go, all right, now they've hit their stride. Now this is a funny show.
Same with Seinfeld, I feel like, and that it took me a long time because I'd already seen so much of it. You know what I mean? Before I actually sat down and watched, like I think it was on Netflix, and just started watching them. And then I was like, okay, all right, this is not good. Why? How did it turn into what it is? The way it started so bad, poorly.
There's so many shows that people watch and love, and I have a real hard time. Like, if I don't like click in the first 5 episodes, I'm done.
Dude, I'm usually 1 or 2.
And then I find out later how great it was, and I'm like, ugh, now I got to go back.
Dukes of
and watch.
Hazzard took off like a rocket ship from episode 1.
Yeah.
From episode 1, y'all. Because I've gone back and watched that one too.
That's a great
I'm not
one.
kidding. I went back and watched the Dukes of Hazzard from beginning to end because that was my favorite TV show as a really small child, and I think it stands up. I still think it holds well.
Yeah.
And is a really good. Sanford and Son same way. Andy Griffith Show same way.
Yeah,
All those
comedy
old
wise,
shows.
some of those shows, it's like, okay, start off and go.
Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. One thing that's not held up is Kamala's record. Even though they're trying to expunge it from, the actual record, the internet is undefeated. Even though they're trying to take it off of TV, off the news, they're trying to scrub it for the internet. It doesn't matter. She's getting basically no bounce in 3 polls where Trump leads her 50-43. That's according to Rasmussen. She did get a small amount of support with younger voters, and yet Trump still leads with younger voters in all of the swing states. I don't want you to hear this and say, oh, we got this in the bag, because we do not. You're not, okay, these polls do not account for ballot harvesting or outright cheating, and that's definitely going to take place. It will happen, and we know it. So don't get comfortable, don't get complacent. She can win. And that's the thing that stands out to me the most is people like, oh, we got this in the bag.
No.
And you can't think that way.
Do not,
It has to
please.
be too big to rig.
That's my biggest fear right now is that everybody already thinks that, hey, this is in the bag. They're going to work.
Because she's a buffoon. I get it.
They're going to outwork us.
They always do.
The left outworks us every single time. I hope that they don't. I would love to see, hey, we're actually getting into the community and knocking on doors. We're more grassroots than we have ever been. And I'll tell you, it's not going to be easy to win this race. I mean, it's going to be, I think it's definitely a lot closer than it was with Joe Biden, and would be only because she's going to bring in people who just look at her and go, she looks like me, I'm voting for her. Well, if you ask about any of the agenda, they can't tell you. They don't care. So I think she'll definitely pick up those numbers, and those are dangerous numbers.
Well, at this point, I'm not concerned. In part because it's hard to get away from this current record, this current administration, as much as the news media is trying to blitz you with all this. Here's what we're going to say about her. Man, most people, they only know one thing. Mm-hmm. How's their wallet? What's going on?
Not good.
And they're not sitting there tuning into the news media every single night going, hey, tell me about how great Kamala is. Okay, that's just how it is. Now, if you just want to look at the numbers, Tug, you're looking at anywhere from a 4 to 7% lead for Donald Trump nationwide.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
It's a reason why in swing states he's destroying Kamala Harris.
No, I know that, but those polls, as I said, those polls are not accounting for any ballot harvesting, ballot stuffing, cheating.
But that's,
you can't account for that.
But
and they're going to do it.
But that matters. That matters if you're winning the popular vote. If you're losing the popular vote, you're getting killed. If you're a Republican winning the popular vote, you're killing across the board.
Here, again, this is my theory, my conspiracy. It is what it is. But I feel like, much like when Joe Biden had to be pushed into the race back in 2020 to win, they made it seem like, yeah, this guy is so popular, he can get 81 million votes. Like, yeah, people vote. They're 81 million. We know the truth. We know what really happened. I don't care. It was rigged. It was stolen, whatever. I agree. I believe that. He didn't get 81 million votes. But it was their way to cheat, to say, yeah, justified. Look at this number. Look at, yep. They're doing the same thing here.
Joe, they're doing
They're doing the same thing right here. What are you talking about? You saw how many people came out. You saw these huge crowds at the sorority dance. They're all cheering, screaming. She's more popular than ever. Of course she got 81 million votes. That's my fear. That Tug's absolutely right. We still need to flood the polls. We need to make it too big to cheat, because they're still going to do whatever they can to make it seem like, no, she was so popular, they came out in droves to vote for her.
Maybe I'm just different in the fact that I put my head on the pillow at night happy that it's Kamala Harris.
No, I mean, I get it. I think everybody does, but I just don't want us to over calculate.
So the great moments that I have when I have like these eureka moments, they happen two ways. Taking the dog outside, having to stare at her, waiting to use the restroom. Like I just stand there and something, I go like, oh, I got a good idea.
And unloading groceries in the rain?
Okay, maybe sometimes there too. Or I'm just in the shower, I'm staring, and I suddenly go like, oh, hey, my one yesterday that occurred, I just remember going, ding, oh, I can't wait to bring that up on the show. Do you realize how feminine that party has become? Same what Carville was saying all about. James Carville was talking about how feminine that party's become. That in their mind, the way to go, 2 out of their last 3 candidates is to nominate an unpopular female.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how feminine that party's become.
But they don't even care, because you know what? The men are so feminine.
It's worked, though.
The men on their side.
Didn't work for Hillary.
Yeah.
saying it's not going to work for Kamala either.
Democrat men cry more than Democrat women. That's how amazing it is. But they get that emotion because they feel like they're a woman. They feel they're a part of it. Look how many of them transition to be women. That's what they feel. They want to have a woman. They feel like it'll bring in. I'm the opposite side. I think a woman is bad for us at that point. You know why? In all honesty, there's too much emotion, especially from this one. And she's not really giving me any issues. Sorry, I want to know, what are you going to do for the economy? Because you haven't done anything yet. Oh, look at our numbers. They're getting better. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Again, that party thought to themselves, let me go ahead and nominate somebody that had already been passed over a number of times. And the more she talked, people stopped liking her and Hillary Clinton. And their best idea at this point was, let's go back to the well and nominate in a way that it's not like a vote, and it's like the power players picked her, and they decided this is going to be the person we're going to put forward, not to win, but to just try and survive. Remember, she was never selected to win.
No, I know. Yeah, I know.
She was selected to hold on to the Senate and challenge in the House. This is not a winning pick. This is not a woman who wins an election.
I do believe that. I just don't want us to get overzealous and take our eye off the prize. That's the only thing I don't want.
I'm over here sipping tea. Like, I'm ready to have a victory cigar.
Dude, I'm like an
it's
abused
already
dog.
won.
I'm like an abused dog.
I'm going to go and you know what? I'll drive everybody to the polls they want. I'm sitting back going, oh, it's kind of like the same thing of Stacey Abrams last time around. I'm like, whoa, you put up Miss Stacey again? You're going to find out. Don't have that mail-in voting or any of the silly games of 2020. You're going to find out.
Yeah. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution for 2 decades, 200,000 projects, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Friday, July 26th. The search for a missing 12-year-old girl from Hall County came to an end after 57 days. Maria Gomez Perez was found safe in another state after she reportedly made contact with an unknown person who picked her up from her house in Gainesville on May 29th. The Hall County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Bureau located the girl, but no details were released about the location or suspect. The possible kidnapping of a 13-year-old girl who was found at a Super 8 motel in College Park has led police to begin an investigation into a potential human trafficking case. Police caught up with the man and the girl after they fled the motel and took them into custody. The girl's name was not released, but she was reported missing in South Fulton County. And in sports, the Atlanta Braves have racked up 5 straight losses as the Mets won their 4th straight game with a 3-2 win last night. The game took 10 innings, but the Mets' Jeff McNeil delivered a game-winning single in the bottom of the 10th to give the Mets victory over the Braves in Game 2 tonight from the Big Apple. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for the Braves. First pitch scheduled for 7:10.
Tug, Rhino, and Lowe's is going to wrap up the 9 o'clock hour, turn it over to the Glenn Beck program, but not before we talk about this new medication that 50% of America could use and benefit from immediately. This is not like the COVID vax. This is something that everyone has to have. Can't wait to tell you about it next on Xtra 106.3.
Xtra 106.3 is committed to bringing you the local and national perspective you need and hearing your voice leading up to the election.
There are things that really worry me now about the upcoming election. It is inconceivable that the people of this country would ever vote for Kamala Harris for president. She is without accomplishment.
Proud to be Atlanta's conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Xtra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications, And with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
The years fly by rapidly. Are your affairs in order so your loved ones are taken care of when that inevitable time arrives? This is Jim Niarchos from the All Four Seasons Home Show. This Saturday morning at 9, our guests will be the experienced pros from Nelson Elder Care Law. There are regulations that we do not know or understand, plus every state has different laws. It's wise to plan ahead, and Nelson Elder Care Law will navigate this complicated matrix for you. Don't miss this informative segment on the All Four Seasons Home Show.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on Extra 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Diamonds Direct Atlanta is now open. The nation's fastest growing jewelry store now is a location right here in Buckhead. Shopping for the perfect ring to pop the question? Or maybe an everyday diamond tennis bracelet? The experts at Diamonds Direct are sure to have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the occasion. With the lowest direct importer pricing, you can expect the best selection of certified diamonds at unmatched prices, all within a luxury showroom atmosphere that makes you feel right at home. Come see what other jewelers are trying to replicate. Diamonds Direct's unbeatable after-the-sale guarantees and warranties are the best you can find. Free cleanings, sizing, polishing, accent diamond replacement for the lifetime of your purchase. If that's not enough, they also offer a 110% upgrade policy for you to use as often as you'd like on your diamond engagement ring, pendant, or studs. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, come see how Diamonds Direct is reinvigorating the jewelry industry at their brand new Buckhead showroom. When you want to have complete confidence in your jewelry buying experience, shop with the experts at Diamonds Direct. Now open on the corner of Maple Drive Northeast and Peachtree.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
The Morning Extra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and The Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
I don't want to sound like Dr. Fauci. I don't want to sound like a pill pusher. But I'm telling you, there is a medicine that you can use, and you have to get it today if you want to remain healthy, if you want to remain vibrant. And I want to play this ad for you for this new medication.
I used to believe everything I'd see on the news, but that's before I discovered a brain.
A brain is meant for everyday use. Those living with moderate to severe stupidity have seen immediate improvement in common sense with a brain.
I thought the government had my best interests at heart, and then a friend told me about a brain.
Talk to your doctor about what news sources you obey. A brain may also lower your desire to take life-altering advice from celebrities.
Getting lectured about my carbon footprint from people with 3 private jets used to make sense. But thanks to a brain, now I can think for myself every day. When my disregard for 3rd grade biology began to flare up, I knew it was time for a brain.
Do not try a brain if you're allergic to a brain. Common side effects may include accountability, discernment, homeschooling your kids, a better understanding of economics, awareness of the stupidity of socialism, and diarrhea.
For tethering yourself to reality, the only no-brainer is choosing a brain.
That's right.
Ask your doctor if a brain is right for you.
For more information, visit tryabrain.com.
Dude, I just love how it's spelled A-brain. Brain. It's spelled a brain.
A brain.
So
Because
good.
when you first see it, like as an ad, you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's a medication called a brain."
Yeah, and then you're like, "Oh wait,
Oh, wait.
this
I
is
get it.
very
My brain's
clever.
working."
This is very clever."
I see.
I didn't go all Dr. Fauci on you. I'm just telling you, everybody needs a brain. I mean, if you watch The Wizard of Oz, you know it.
I like the basic understanding of economics.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so good,
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
So
that's always helpful.
All of it's dead on. I don't take advice from celebrities on television because I have a brain. So good, dude.
When I started questioning third grade biology,
Yeah.
I knew I needed a brain.
So there you go.
Pretty
That is-
good.
that is the medication we'll start the weekend with.
I'm
is
big
a brain.
pharma now. I'm behind it. Who's coming up with this one?
Yeah, right. Well, none of them really, because they would do anything but help your brain. They're gonna feed you something, probably poison your brain.
True.
When,
Dang it.
When all the things that'll happen to you, the cause and effect, whatever the symptoms you get after you take particular medicine, when it's worse than what you're taking the medicine for, then don't take the medicine. And no kidding. Like my father-in-law, I've told you, has Parkinson's, and like the tray of medicine he takes on a day, I'm like, there's that part of me, and I know nothing, dude. I know nothing, but there's that part of me is like, maybe if he didn't take all that, it would maybe be better.
I have one singular goal, and that was like, okay, last as long as I can for my daughters, which includes,
of course,
I want to stay off of all of these crazy medications and everything else for as long as I can, because once the body breaks down, okay, that sucks, okay?
Yeah.
So if that means I got to take a brain to go ahead and avoid some of this stuff.
Seriously, that'd be the one. That would be the one that I may give in for. I'll take a brain, and then in parentheses, cranium underneath. In the description. So good, man. I love when people get super creative and have y'all seen the Dukes of Hazzard thing?
Yes,
the MAGA Dukes of Hazzard. You got to just do a quick
look for that one.
Yeah.
And it's just it's like the jib jab thing.
Well, it's the opening that we all watched from the Dukes of Hazzard with the song and the jumping on the car and introducing all the characters. And all the characters are, here's J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, and they basically put the pictures on them as the Dukes of Hazzard. And Melania is Daisy Duke, and it's all these.
Okay. Boss Hogg is Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton,
of course.
So good,
That's
dude.
great.
That's what I'm saying.
Watch this.
When people get super creative,
I get
love
behind
it.
that show.
Yeah, man. Who wouldn't? And who didn't love the Dukes of Hazzard? So anybody that watches it automatically flashes back to when you're that age, watching the Dukes of Hazzard come on with that theme.
80s, living in Uvalde, Texas, when it would come on. It's a big deal. Get to watch the Dukes of Hazzard when I was a kid.
And it was before Dallas, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, because that was the all right. Watch this, and then the parents took over to watch Dallas.
That's right, exactly.
And my parents never missed Dallas.
No, dude, Dallas was a staple in our house, and I remember being like so done. As soon as the Dukes of Hazzard were done, I was scurrying off to do something else.
Same with me.
But Mom and Daddy always watched Dallas and Dynasty too.
Yeah,
there's some big shows back in the day, man.
I can still hear all the theme songs because that was it was like a signal. It was time. Like I still remember, you would get MacGyver before Monday Night Football.
God, I love
so
MacGyver.
that was like the coolest run of like MacGyver and then Monday Night Football.
All my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
I loved MacGyver. Oh
Yeah, that's
God,
right.
and
Yeah.
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap was another good one, dude.
that
I
was
totally
the
forgot about
greatest
that one.
show.
That was a great show.
I
You're
never
right.
got into it, but I always thought just the idea of all the characters he's basically playing going back in time or wherever else. I was like, that's
He
a cool
looks
premise.
in the mirror and he's like the fattest girl in the world. He's like, oh,
What has happened, dude?
Yeah.
There has been so many. I feel like we've been on a kind of a TV theme today. And did you know the book that you brought up? Joe's got a ton of calls telling
Separate Piece
that the name of the book is
No,
Separate Piece.
thank y'all for the help out there. I just couldn't remember the title of that book.
Yeah, just
that
stuff
one
you
messed
grew up
me up
watching.
when I was in middle school.
Yeah, just one of those.
I was like, he's dead?
I don't think that was the book because I didn't read that. I don't
that's
remember
the
that
one that got
title.
me.
Yeah, but that.
Well, there was Bridge to Terabithia when I was a kid.
Love that book. That was a great book.
The girl dies on a rope swing.
That's right. That's
Just
exactly,
straight up dead.
Oh well.
Yeah, that was a.
Well, when you're a young reader,
yeah, absolutely.
like, you don't
You're
get that
like,
sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
especially not been exposed
Well,
to the
I still remember when we went through like the Diary of Anne Frank, and you're reading it, and you've gotten old enough to know what happened.
Yeah,
and so as you're reading it, you're like, this is like that much more terrible.
Oh, that was a terrifying book.
Like that was a tough read.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I think a long time ago, it was conditioning you a little bit to look. This world ain't a great, easy place. I know that most of us grew up in pretty stable homes and pretty nice neighborhoods, relatively nice neighborhoods, not rich by any means, but a decent life. And that was the introduction to the fact that the world is not the nicest of places, and what you've experienced is unusual.
Well, that was the idea of introducing students to the classics. Rather than some of the silliness that we have in some of our schools that parents take issue with. Yeah. It's not that education has to change, but there are fundamental aspects of it where you go, you know what? Little bit of exposure to some of the real world, at least some of the, Dust Bowl era Oklahoma, things like that. It's like knowing how hard life had been for people at different times.
Yeah. But on top of that, though, now it just seems like I don't feel like any of that was indoctrination. That was just explanation. You know what I mean?
It was almost a portrait of America at different time periods.
And now, though, it's the people that want those books that we would like not to be is all about indoctrinating. That's the difference. There's no explanation. It's just, hey, here's the thing. We're going to indoctrinate your kids to pretend like something's normal when it's very much not normal.
Yeah, reading's gone by. Look, I used to read a lot of Stephen King when I was younger.
Wow.
His books were good. I haven't read a lot lately, but we read books that actually, were worthy of us reading them. Not now. Not Amanda Got a Penis. Like, I don't care about your book or the color purple shaded shadows and all the indoctrination that we're putting in the books, and the left for them to go ahead and pivot to that this is a book ban. It's just why we can't have our children read books there are some that are going to be controversial. I mean, I know that Huckleberry Finn was a little controversial, but again, you can't erase the fact that, this stuff happened and still enjoy the books.
Well, that's that part of history. I think about my favorite book that I read when I was a kid was probably A Tale of Two Cities. That was the one that I loved when we read that in school. I was like, Tale of Two Cities is a great book. Frankenstein's a great book.
Yeah, sure.
Of Mice and Men.
Mice and Men's a great book. I don't see any problem with having that, along with, like, my daughter likes to read about historical reenactments of things. She read about the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
And so she could understand how important that was to the formulation of American society after World War II.
But all those books, Catcher in the Rye, all those, they bring back times, and then you go back.
Coming of age, yeah.
And if you're a student like me, I would take those books and learn about that time, then go back and investigate more and read better books and more books about... I don't know, man. We just don't do that anymore.
It's just the idea that then when they slide in, these are my two uncles. And you're like, wait a minute, that's a conversation for me in my home with my family, not for that book for you to slip it into my kid's book bag.
I can be a kitten, too.
Craziness all around. That's why Extra 106.3 is so valuable and so important, and we appreciate you supporting us. And we hope you have a great weekend for Rhino, Los, and Board Up Goey. I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
After show coming up 10:30.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
The left manages to manipulate language, using words, using phrases seemingly innocuous, but that slowly over time create a specific mindset for you, a mindset that aids the left.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.